Live from the campus of Benedict College at the Charlie Johnson Stadium. It's Miles College Football on WOTM Sports. Glad you could join us. Charles Ward alongside A.A. Moore as usual. And A.A., we are in Columbia, South Carolina. They are meeting the Tigers of Benedict. Benedict looking for his first win of the season on their homecoming day. It's going to be a big challenge for them this afternoon.
Seems a little bit like deja vu if you think about it. Last week we had a winless team, 0-4 team, on a homecoming date. And Miles looking to kind of stay on a roll, but you can't overlook these teams. We saw last week that it took a little extra time, not quite overtime, but certainly some extra time to be able to prevail with the victory. Miles hoping not to have to go that long this time.
Went over 6 hours of delays last weekend in the ball game against Clark Atlanta. Don't expect that perfect weather here today in Columbia, South Carolina. Let's talk about the Golden Bears coming off that long ball game a weekend ago. What have they been doing this weekend in practice? What's the move there?
Well, again, you had a change in quarterback. Now you've got LeJean Cordier starting again. It's his second start. We saw in his first start against Missouri S&T, he didn't do near as well as he did when he came in relief. Daniel Smith, he will be ready and waiting if needed to get this offense going. And that's been part of the problems, that the leadership position, the quarterback spot, they have not been able to get consistent play. So Coach Reginald Ruffin is looking for the guy who's going to be able to lead this team consistently and be able to do the job to get Miles in the win column.
They will be going for the win this afternoon against a team that is very anemic as it relates to their run game, so really kind of plays into the hands of the Golden Bears.
Last week, Miles had minus 37 yards rushing. Actually, they held Clark Atlanta to minus 37 yards rushing. It was the second time this season they've held a team to a negative number. Running against this defense, not what a team wants to do. Throwing the football, that's an entirely different story. Last week, we gave up 377 yards in the air to Clark Atlanta. You don't want to let Benedict get rolling, so hopefully they'll be able to kind of tighten the screws on them defensively.
Golden Bears getting set to meet the Tigers of Benedict College. Football action just ahead on WOTM Sports.
Don't you just love rain? It's nature's way of watering the earth. Thunderstorms are a different story. Poppy really freaks out if the lights go off. That's why we love Alabama Power. As soon as it's safe, they work day and night to get the lights back on. Fast. Kind of like real-life superheroes. I know they do it for everybody, but sometimes I think they do it just for Poppy. Say thanks, Poppy.
You heard that right.
Back live at Charlie Johnson Stadium on the campus of Benedict College, getting set for football action. SIAC contest this afternoon. Golden Bears and Miles College at 4-1, 2-0 in SIAC play, getting set to meet the Tigers of Benedict College, who's still looking for their first win of the campaign at 0-4 and 0-2 in SIAC play. Toss has already been conducted at midfield. The Golden Bears actually won the toss, but they're going to defer and put the Tiger offense out on the field first to start this homecoming contest here for the Tigers of Benedict. Benedict idle last weekend, and the weekend prior to that lost to Fort Valley 50-16, and of course the Golden Bears coming in after that extended delay in play last weekend against the Panthers of Clark Atlanta, winning that ball game 31-27. So undefeated in the SIAC. A contest this afternoon that hopefully won't tax the Golden Bears that heavily, but we'll find out. And stand corrected here, they did not defer on the toss, and it will be the Golden Bears starting on offense first to get us going here. Darius Martin stands deep, and Anthony Robinson joins him back there as well. Robinson starting to up his numbers as it relates to returns of kick, averaging right at around 26 yards per return. Gorgeous day here in Columbia, South Carolina. Glad you could join us for our coverage. Charles Ward and A.A. Moore with the play call. Continuing coverage of Miles football on WOTM. Bands from both schools, a purple marching machine here making the trip up to Columbia this afternoon. Benedict band always well represented as well. So should have a great halftime performance here inside the stadium as we get set for football action. It'll be Rigoberto kicking it away for the Tigers of Benedict College. Sophomore. And we are underway. It'll be a short kick by Rigoberto, and it'll be caught by one of the up men for the Golden Bears. He'll work it toward the 32-yard line. A return that time looks like that was Grant Dubose on that return.
We'll give it to 87, Montavious Tench. He's one of the up guys, and he always makes it a bit of an adventure when he returns. He's a big guy, and for even being that big, he's got some good speed. But man, that ball just is sitting there waiting for somebody to pop it out, and this time he's able to hold on to it. And we've got LeJean Cordier at the controls.
Cordier on the season, 9 of 20, 196 total yards and throwing, 45% completion rate for the senior. He will start this afternoon. We'll likely see Daniel Smith in this ball game as it unfolds. So first play from scrimmage now. They go on the ground. That's Martin with the football trying to turn the corner. Flag coming in there as Martin spins his way near the 40-yard line. Darius Martin, the senior, 7 carries for 28 yards, getting the start this afternoon. Complement of backs for the Golden Bears, Wade Streeter, Dante Edwards. You'll see some of them in action this afternoon without a doubt.
Well, they spread him wide last year. Darius Martin came in. He was a wide receiver, but they moved him to the running back position. That time they put him in motion out of the slot, but unfortunately, penalty flag comes in on the first play.
Indeed, an ominous start there for the Golden Bears. 5th in the conference in penalties coming into today's ball game. 41 for 386 yards. That's about 77 yards per ball game in penalties.
And last week it was up towards 100 yards in penalties, and we've seen when Miles has struggled. We saw it against Missouri S&T. There's a ton of penalties. That's the one thing that Coach Ruffin cannot stand when it's not there. A lot of the times those penalties are undisciplined.
108 yards last weekend in penalties. On the ground, Martin looks for room right side this time. Found some space at the corner. Got some of that back up to the 30.
Make no mistake, Darius Martin came in this season number 4 on the depth chart, but he's got blazing speed. He also played baseball for the Golden Bears baseball team. He was the center fielder to play out at at Rickwood Field, historic Rickwood Field. That's major league dimensions, at least minor league dimensions, and there's a lot of ground to cover, and he could do that.
Speedy, no question. So it'll be 2nd and 15 now. Pass by Cordier. Catch going to be made there by Tench. Tench past the 40, up near the 42-yard, close to that first down marker.
I make a lot of mistakes when we do this, but one of the easier mistakes to make is between differentiating Montavious Tench and DeAndre Fagan. It was Fagan on the kickoff who ran it back. I called Tench's number. Tench is a big guy himself, but they're kind of built just a little different, but they're both great tight ends for the Golden Bears.
I think the comment still applies, though. And this is Streeter with his first carry of the football game, and Streeter's got a complete feet first down, running that right side near the 44.
It was going to be a matter of time before you saw Wade Streeter. Wade Streeter has done a great job carrying the rock for the Golden Bears this season. Number 3 in the conference in rushing yards. He's had a couple of 100-yard games already, and Miles is showing great depth at the running back spot. They will be without Justin Ruiz today, who was left in Birmingham. He's ill, and so they're going to go with Martin. They're going to go with Streeter, also Dante Edwards. But Edwards has got to do a better job of holding on to the football. He has lost it several times this year. Again, something else that the coaching staff doesn't want to see is losing the football.
On the ground, Streeter, right side, second wave of the defense, got it past the 45, up near the 47-yard line. Streeter running behind that talented offensive line of the Golden Bears. Theodore Victorin at the left tackle. Aaron Scroggins going at the left guard today. Then that gives room for Tyler Lowry, the freshman, to handle the snapping duties at center. And it'll be Jalen King sliding over to the right guard position. That's a freshman. And then Womack in at that guard position, and King at the outside at the tackle.
Well, I tell you, Aaron Scroggins has been the man since he's gotten here. I remember his first collegiate game. He started at center, unseating an all-conference player in Chris Ruffin, and since then they have slid him at every spot along the offensive line. That's why he is the best offensive lineman that the Golden Bears have.
Second penalty of the ball game. This one going against the Tigers of Benedict. And that will push the Golden Bears inside of Benedict territory near the 48-yard line.
48-yard line, second down 2.
Good starts is what Miles has been able to get off to this season. I remember against Missouri S&T the last time we were on the road, they went right down the field, got the touchdown, took the lead early in the ball game. Obviously didn't finish like we wanted it to finish, but those good starts, buddy, they give you a lot of extra energy, extra lift, and it gives the defense something to build off of when they get on the field.
Benedict 11th in the conference in penalties. That's dead last, the most in the conference. They go to Streeter right side, a little short distance to make for the first down. Streeter's got that, so that's a complete feat first down. And we move the chains here.
Something else about Wade Streeter, he's tough, even for being a little more slender, a little slighter than the other running backs out there. He's not scared to go in and bang the ball in between the tackles just as well as he can get outside and make teams pay with his speed. So don't dismiss Wade Streeter trying to bang it in there with the big boys.
Lajon Cordier, he'll take the snap. Ball faked by Cordier. Now here comes the pressure by the Tigers. Lajon eludes that and works it left side. Looking for a comeback block, not able to get it. He's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage.
The fact that he was able to make something out of nothing there, that's a good sign for the Golden Bears. That looked like that was set up for about a 4 or 5 yard sack. He was able to get not only to the line of scrimmage, he picked up a yard on that play. Sometimes 1 yard gains are a lot more than what they look like in there. That was a 1 yard gain that probably saved 6 yards.
Indeed. Cordier, certainly a quicker and better runner than Daniel Smith at quarterback. Showed some agility on that play. It is 2nd down and 9 now. First possession of this football game. Cordier alone in the backfield, in the pocket. Now steps up, fires an aerial. That one batted away at the 35. Trying to get it to Grant DeBose there. You're tossing a flag here, imaginary flag up in the booth, but they're not following you down at field.
Yeah, it looked like maybe there was a little quick, a little extra contact there. Maybe that was Matthew Anthony who got there a little early for Benedict, but it's going to bring up a 3rd and long, and that's not a forte per se when you've got Cordier in, but you know, if you got some open running lanes, he can take off.
Got to get it to the 35 for a fresh set of downs. 11:09 left here in this first quarter of play. No score. Golden Bears on the road here in Columbia, South Carolina with the Tigers of Benedict. Cordier in the pocket. They'll flush him right side. Now he's got some space there if he can tuck. Got to elude one, puts his head down and tries to barrel through that defender, and they knock him down short of that first down marker, about 2 yards shy.
And when you are more of a mobile, more of a running quarterback, going in there and trying to lay the boom on a defender is nothing new to you. And at that time, Cordier had made up his mind that he was going to do the best he could to get that first down. And now Miles is going to spread it out wide here and go for it on 4th down.
4th and 2. So first big effort here of the ball game for the Golden Bears, trying to keep that football. Golden Bears 5 of 10 on 4th down effort. Snap to Cordier. Quick step by him. Slides to his right. Ran into the coverage there and short of that first down marker. That play looked to be designed to come to the left, but he had to change it and go back to the right side and ran into a couple of Tigers on the inside.
It certainly was designed. He did run in between the tackles there. There may have been room to the outside, but unfortunately he wasn't able to find it, and that's going to put Benedict on offense.
So that may charge this crowd a bit here on homecoming for the Tigers of Benedict. They hold on that 4th down effort by the Golden Bears. They'll have the football. Tigers led by the junior quarterback, Phillip Brown. Brown's 5th in the conference in passing. 45 out of 89, but he's thrown 5 interceptions over the first 4 ball games for the Tigers.
A lot of these guys starting for the Golden Bears were the guys who were on the field at the end of that ball game last week. Hopefully they'll be able to use some of that momentum to carry over here into the first half of this game.
They go on the ground, and not a whole lot there. Good stop up front by the Golden Bears.
Austin Stevens on the stop. You know, we haven't called his name a whole lot this year. Teams have not been able to run the football against that front 4, so there's not a lot of linebacker tackles. A lot of the tackles are in coverage, and so the numbers are down, but he's been just as effective in stopping the run and playing good defense overall amongst that front 7. So, you know, numbers don't always, again, tell the story, but he's been playing well, especially since he's recouped a little more from that off-season leg injury.
Raheem Jennings on that first carry there for the Golden Bears. Ball fake by Brown. Shoots it up the middle, and the pass goes incomplete. He was trying to get it there to Danny Washington on a crossing route. A good coverage there by that secondary of the Golden Bears.
Rodney Coleman in there, and maybe there's a little payback, as Rodney Coleman may have gotten there a little quick, but no flag on one side, no flag on the other side. We'll take that.
Coleman at one cornerback, and it's the junior Jarius Grayson going at the other corner for the Golden Bears. Maxell Wells slides down to the strong safety position. He'll join Kendall Walker back there. Linebacking core essentially the same. Brown trying to get a one-on-one here out in the flats, throwing it down the field and incomplete. He was trying to get it to Raylan Elsie and not able to get it down to Elsie down the field.
That was a play that was almost a bust that turned into something positive for Miles. No one was over there on Elsie trying to cover him at the last second. Grayson gets over there. He really wasn't in a good coverage spot, but it wasn't enough of a position to bump the receiver, and Brown, the quarterback, threw it long. Elsie actually pulled up. Maybe if he kept running, that would have been a big play for Benedict.
Anthony Robinson set for a return now, and he signals fair catch and squeezes near the 27. So the Golden Bear offense back out on the football field in their second possession of this ball game. Lost it on downs on the last possession, couldn't convert on that fourth and about 3.
Make sure you purchase your 50/50 raffle tickets today. Tickets are $2.
So Miles, you want to get off, you want to get on the scoreboard early, you want to take a team like Benedict, who has struggled all year. They've struggled in all phases, actually, offense, defense, special teams, you name it. You want to be able to kind of put your foot on their throats. You got to get in the end zone to start to be able to do that.
Cordier slides Harvey down the line. They'll go to Streeter right side. Streeter, second wave of the defense, spins his way up near the 34-yard line. Pick up of about 4 or 5 on that carry by Streeter.
That was one of those long stretch handoffs there where
almost didn't get there.
Yeah, but he didn't get all the way to the outside. Generally, when you run that stretch, you try to get, you stretch it out. Obviously, that's why they call it the stretch, but you want to try to get as far to the outside as you can on that. And that time, Streeter just kind of banged it inside, didn't get a bunch.
Robinson slides the line, now back to the left. Same play, Streeter right side. Lost his balance momentarily, but able to stay on his feet and run it to the 40-yard line or near the 40, but that's enough for a complete first down, not even depending on the mark. He was clearly past that stick.
And Miles has been one of the best running teams in the conference as well. The offense overall near the top of the charts for the SIAC. So running it, throwing it, doesn't really matter. With Cordier, you're probably going to see a lot more running, but Miles will get it any way they can at this point.
Averaging over 200 yards per game. Cordier going to take a drop this time. Out in the flats, this is Harvey with the catch. Hands on the ground, trying to keep his balance, but a good job by Harvey to pick it upfield after the catch.
That was actually a whiff on the tackle, a complete whiff as the defensive back came to try to take Harvey out. I think the air tripped up Harvey more than the DB there, because there was a lot of room to roam if he was able to keep his feet.
So they got that one out to Harvey in space. Harvey more effective as a receiver for the Golden Bears thus far this season. Right side, stretch play again. Streeter turns, got enough for that complete first down, just inside of Benedict territory to the 49.
Miles running with a lot more conviction here in the opening parts of this ball game. Even last week, although Ruiz had more than 100 yards rushing, the team again with plus 200 yards on the ground for the season per game, it just didn't seem like they were comfortable running the ball, at least not until after the last rain delay. They were just having trouble moving the ball against the defense of Clark Atlanta.
Ball fake gets to the left. Now Cordier rolls back to the right. Got Harvey coming out of the backfield. Nicely done on the pass by Cordier and nicely done on the catch by Harvey.
You're not kidding, man. He's got some great hands. They've thrown the ball to him several times this season. I haven't seen him drop anything. You know, he had the touchdown catch against Missouri S&T. Thus far, throwing the ball to Harvey has been a revelation for this offense.
It's his second catch of this contest. Had one last weekend in that extended game against Clark Atlanta.
Extended, that's a nice way of saying it. Long with several O's in there.
Correct. So 2nd and 1 now. On the ground, this is Martin. Martin has his legs cut from under him, but I think that's after he got to the stick for that complete feet first down.
A couple weeks ago against Benedict, Miles had 30 first downs. 30 first downs, 52 points. There is a correlation to that. If you can keep the ball away from the other team and keep punching it in, you're going to rack up some big numbers. And already Miles is up to 5 first downs in this ball game.
Now at the 39 of the Tigers, Benedict. About where they stalled on the last drive, this portion of the field. We'll see if they can continue now. They got a fresh set of downs here with 5:59 remaining. Cordier in the pocket, good ball fake, fires. That's Robinson with the grab near the 32. So Cordier looking very comfortable in the pocket here.
And again, they shifted the line around again this week. Tyler Lowry, his first collegiate start, but he hasn't looked like he's had any problems. The snaps have been true. The line is held up. Plenty of time there for Cordier to complete that pass.
2nd and 3 after the catch. On the ground, Streeter works it right side. They lost the tackle on him now. Streeter spins away, spinning his way down to the 15-yard line for the Golden Bears.
That kid is determined every time he gets the football. We talked to him. We did a sit-down interview with him that aired on the In the Huddle with Coach Ruffin this week, and he said he just wanted to be patient. He knew his time was going to come, and when it came, he wanted to take full advantage, and that's exactly what he has done thus far this season.
Took full advantage on that previous run. We'll see what he does this time. He's got it left side. Turns it back to the defense, and they chop him down near the 12-yard line. Pick up about 3 on that carry by Streeter.
The tempo has really picked up on the run game. You saw the first couple of runs, got some good yardage, but now it looks like they're running with a lot more conviction. They're hitting the hole harder, hitting it faster, and getting bigger gains here.
So Martin back in the lineup now. Cordier sends McNeely sliding right side. On the ground, Pedarius with the football. Good open field tackle there by Dontavius Hunt for the Golden Tigers, sliding into that hole.
Martin is probably the smallest of the 5 running backs that we've seen this year. Some of those hits, if you try to bring down Dante Edwards like that, you're probably just getting run over.
Sure. You get to the concussion protocol pretty quick. 3rd down and a full 7 for the Golden Tigers. Ball fake. Cordier's got some room in front of him. Still rolling toward the sideline. Raises, fires, back of the end zone. McNeely sliding, but can't make the catch.
I think that was a case of friendly fire right there. It was Antonio Lee who was in the corner, and just that late movement by Lee may have caused McNeely to take his eye off of that football, because he was there. He had his feet planted in the backcourt of that end zone, and it looked like the throw was true. Unfortunately, he was unable to catch it. Again, Lee just a little bit of a move that may have thrown that play off.
So that'll bring on Jackson Spradlin now to try the field goal. This will be a 29-yard effort by Spradlin. Spradlin 4-5 field goal kicking. Plenty of distance on that kick. Accurate as well. He knocks it through for the Golden Bears. So with 3:50 remaining in the first quarter of play, Golden Bears get their first score of the ball game. Comes on the 29-yard field goal by Jackson Spradlin. Golden Bears leading at 3-0. Take a break here on WOTM Sports.
From a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise. I rise. I rise.
Back live at Charlie Johnson Stadium. Golden Bears strike first. 29-yard field goal by Jackson Spradlin gives the Golden Bears a 3-0 lead. SIAC contest here against the Tigers of Benedict College. Golden Bears first in the West, trying to stay that way. Kick will come down at the 10-yard line and tripped up near the 30-yard line. Carried by the Tigers. That guy Quan Bloodshaw, the freshman, on that return.
Jared Shade on the stop. Shade has seen some of his opportunities on defense kind of dwindle a little bit over the last couple of weeks, but he has been contributing on special teams. Another big stop there by the senior.
So So the Tigers of Benedict now coming back out onto the field. It's Eric Phoenix actually getting the quarterback assignment for the Tigers of Benedict College to start this ball game. We had Brown slated to start, but it's the freshman from Savannah, Georgia, who's actually calling these signals now for the Tigers. He will go on the ground up near the 35-yard line. Carry there by Raheem Jennings, the senior. Jennings got it to the 35-yard line for the Tigers of Benedict.
Mitchell Smiley, the man they call Money Mitch, he came into the contest among the league, the team leaders in tackles. He seems to be everywhere the ball is this season, and actually since he's gotten here to Miles over the last season and a half.
Pick up a 5 on that play by the Tigers. Ball fake. Phoenix fires, got a man out in the flats there. The pass overthrown, trying to get it out to Dominique Arrington, but the pass overthrown by Phoenix.
That's one of those passes that you would expect some touch on. You know, you wanted the quarterback to kind of drop it in there to the fullback coming out of the backfield. Instead, he fired a missile. There was no way for that ball to be caught. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5, it looks like, here for the Benedict Tigers.
Quick 3rd down for them with 3:05 left in this first quarter. Benedict right now 5th in the East Division of the SIAC. And whistles at the line of scrimmage before this play gets started. Looks like it's going to be a delay of game against the Tigers. Benedict coming into this ball game penalized 43 times for 425 yards. That's 128 yards per ball game in penalties against the Tigers of Benedict.
Yeah, the Tigers, you know, their coach Mike White, you generally expect to see them playing very good defense and being a very disciplined team. It just hasn't worked out that way this year for Benedict. One of the interesting things, Mike White coaches from the press box. He's one of the few coaches who will do that. He's not down on the sidelines today.
Phoenix in the pocket. Here comes the pressure by the Golden Bears. They get on him and pull him down from behind. The pocket just collapsed on him. And that time the sack's going to be Markel Shelton, the junior from Bessemer, Alabama, wrapping him up.
We've talked about it before. Freshman year was outstanding for Markel Shelton. Won a couple of regional and conference freshman of the year awards. Last year, not as well. They started running double teams at him, but the way Miles likes to bring pressure from different angles, has a very 46 type of look, similar to what the Bears defense used to do back in the 80s. I hope I'm not dating myself, but they used to put multiple linebackers on one side and bring all the pressure from one area and dare the other team to try to pick that blitz up. That time, quarterback held onto the ball way too long and allowed Shelton to come all the way back around and pull him down for the sack.
Shelton actually on the season 3rd in the SIAC in sacks coming in today's play. 3.5 total coming in. He's picked up his first of this ball game. Tigers to punt, sidewinder off the foot and bounces at midfield. Slight roll upfield for Benedict out at the 40, and that's where the Golden Bears will take it from their own 40. So 2:16 remains in this first quarter of play. 3-0 lead for the Golden Bears of Miles College. And certainly we'd like to see what we've seen so far, is very impressive on the offense. They have had sustained drives, just not able to put it in the end zone just yet. But the last trip they got the field goal. See what this one results in.
And that's the problem. If you don't punch it in, it leaves a team like Benedict one play away from getting the lead. So, you know, you want to get these touchdowns. Field goals, when you're controlling the clock and putting up the bigger numbers on offense, that tends not to be enough.
So Golden Bears back on offense now. It's McNeely in motion right side. They'll run it that way. There's Dante Edwards with his first carry of the ball game, and it's a big one for him. Almost picked up the 10 yards for that first down, about 9.5 on the carry by Edwards.
Yeah, that was a 9.5 Richter scale way he came down. Big hit there for the big running back for the Golden Bears. He was that one tackle away from going to the house. There was no one else left. If he gets past that defender, that would have been 6 points for Miles.
9.5 on the pickup to the 49. They'll try him again right side. Slides over, has his legs cut from under him, but well after he picks up that complete feet first down near the 46-yard line.
At this point, Miles is doing what it wants to on the ground. But if you're only getting the yards on the ground, ultimately teams are going to adjust to that. They're going to force Cordier to throw the football. So you want to see Miles be able to do a little more in the air, but right now the run game is as good as it gets. So you want to kind of stick with that.
Seen a complement of backs already with some impactful runs here early on. Now it's the Dante Edwards show last couple of possessions. Ball fake. Cordier is trying to fall on it, and he did fall on it back into Golden Bear territory. So that'll push him back on a second down effort coming with 1:04 left first quarter.
As they tried to run that play action, that little run pass option there, it looks like Cordier didn't get a good grasp on the football. It looked like the snap was pretty good, but as they tried to pull it out of the belly of Edwards, he lost the control of the football.
Curious to see what the play call is here on this 2nd and 15. Cordier to the sideline. We have seen in the past that the Golden Bears have kind of gambled with going deeper downfield on the pass routes. This is a situation where you can get a couple of good short routes to get that yardage back for the first down. They'll go on the ground instead. Edwards cuts back to the middle, creates the contact at midfield. Pickup of about 4 on that carry by Dante Edwards.
It's going to bring up 3rd and long, but that'll probably be the last play of the first quarter.
Looks like they won't try to even get it off. They're going toward the sideline. So we've come to the end of one quarter of play here at Charlie Johnson Stadium on the campus of Benedict College. At the end of one, it's the Golden Bears with a 3-0 lead over Benedict College. Take a break here on WOTM Sports.
Don't you just love rain? It's nature's way of watering the earth. Thunderstorms are a different story. Poppy really freaks out if the lights go off. That's why we love Alabama Power. As soon as it's safe, they work day and night to get the lights back on. Fast. Kind of like real-life superheroes. I know they do it for everybody, but sometimes I think they do it just for Poppy. Say thanks, Poppy.
You heard that right.
Into the second quarter we go. Golden Bears with a 3-0 lead over the Tigers of Benedict College. 3rd down and 13 for Miles College from the 49 of Benedict.
You know, one of the best things that happens when you switch quarters at midfield, you don't have to go anywhere. You just kind of turn around.
Dante Edwards is going to be in that lineup in the backfield. 3rd and long for the Golden Bears.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the line can hold up. They can Miles can kind of work Edwards out into the pass route late and see if they can pick up a first down that way. Because with all those speedsters out there, they're going to stretch the field some. And Edwards might be able to block real quick and then slip out into the pass pattern.
Not a bad idea at all. Play set to resume now. On a 3rd and 13, Cordier steps up in the pocket. Good pressure by the Tigers. Cordier flings it upfield, trying to get it there to Leonard Tyree. Will check the flag out behind the offense. Likely going to be a hold against the Golden Bears. Cordier scrambling and rolling right side.
I would imagine they'll wave that off and send the punting team out.
Holding against Miles College.
Boy,
Decline.
you should be a coach.
Brings up 4th down.
No, buddy, I don't. I'll get up here and first and second guess them some, but yeah, the coaching group, they've got their hands full with a lot of things. I'll let them do that, and I'll just call great plays up there.
Things, right? One of those things is hosting in the huddle with Coach Reginald Ruffin. And I know you had a chance to talk to him about that delay last weekend. Did you get any thoughts from him on that?
Well, he said the most important thing they did was eat, but it allowed the team to reset going back into the end of the third and into the fourth quarter, and it may have been the best thing that happened.
Looks like Jake Fitch going to kick this one away on the punt for the Golden Bears. And the return by McGreer, one of the leading return men in the SIAC, up to the 28-yard line for the Tigers of Benedict.
Well, first, Grant DuBose, he made him miss, and he got to the outside, but it was Nictavious Floyd who was able to drag him down. You know, that's one of the things about the depth chart being what it is for Miles. When you're not starting, you're on special teams, and on special teams, you've got Grant DuBose, who's got a touchdown catch already. You got Nick Floyd, who had a monster game 2 weeks ago. You got Antonio Evans, who started the season as your starting middle linebacker. You know, you got those kind of guys playing special teams. You know, you've got to imagine that unit's got to be pretty strong, pretty athletic.
Indeed. Eric Phoenix, the freshman, at quarterback for the Tigers. Low snap, but he handles. The lefty's in the pocket's got some time. Now can't find a receiver. Now finds somebody in space near the 41. And the ball goes in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Cavante Gallman, the senior, had a shot at that one. Not able to collect the football. Stevens chasing that play closely at the sideline.
I tell you, Miles is starting to turn the pressure up just a bit here. That time, Benedict did a good job of being able to give the quarterback time to throw it, but then the coverage downfield was pretty solid. So, you know, you can get any way you can if you're the Miles defense at this point, but you just don't want to give up the big play, and we've seen that from the Miles defense, especially the secondary, having some trouble covering. So hopefully we'll see some improvement in that here today.
Second down effort here for the Tigers of Benedict. They keep it on the ground. Up to the 30, now to the 31. Carried by Tyrone Turner Jr. on that carry for the Tigers of Benedict. That's his first offering of the contest.
Jamari Smith there with the stop, and Jamari Smith came into the season. He was scheduled to be the starter, but he had a knee injury. He had to sit out the first couple of games. He's kind of working himself back into shape. But again, when you're talking about second units with Jamari Smith coming in, big guy, he's the muscle guy in there, so teams trying to run, especially on the interior, are going to have some real problems with him. He was borderline all-conference type material at the end of last season.
Finished with 25 tackles last year for the Golden Bears. Phoenix raises, fires, got a man there at the 40. Catch going to be made right there. Nice squeeze there by Elsley for the Tigers of Benedict.
Design rollout play. You can see everybody was moving left, which is right into the strong suit there of the left-handed quarterback. And Elsley, the receiver, was right there wide open. He just came right across the formation, open, made the catch. First down there for Benedict.
That's their first down of this ball game, I believe. From their own 40. We'll bring a man in motion. On the ground. Springing free of the defense. This is Turner in a foot race now. He'll be caught from behind at the 30-yard line, but Turner with a second effort run by the Tigers of Benedict got it inside of Golden Bear territory, down all the way near the 28-yard line.
And this is what you're talking about. When you've got a team down, you've got to really put them in the dirt. And Benedict here trails only 3-0, even though for the entire first quarter they were dominated. Now they're starting to get a little momentum. Big run there after a couple of missed tackles. And Benedict is in business inside the 30-yard line.
Turner with the carry there for the Tigers of Benedict. Good job by him. But to your point, particularly on a day like this, homecoming for the Tigers is looking for their first win of the season. You want to take control of this as quickly as you can, and a timeout taken by the Tigers of Benedict College. They take it with 12:29 remaining in the first half, and they take it with the Golden Bears leading at 3-0, but the Tigers are threatening at this point. We'll take a break here on WOTM Sports.
So, Darren, you're with the UPS store?
Yeah, we actually printed these invites.
Wow, I thought you guys just did shipping.
No, we do printing, packing, shredding, notarizing, mailboxing, faxing, binding, taping, laminating, copying, consulting, creating, designing, returning, and, of course, shipping.
Cool.
Nice costume.
It's my work uniform. Where are you going?
Go to the UPS store for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping.
Tigers of Benedict take a timeout. Their most extended drive of this football game thus far. Down at the 29 of the Golden Bears. 12:29 left first half. Snap to Phoenix. Ball fake. Going one-on-one, got a man there toward the corner of the end zone. Pass perfectly thrown, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Tigers. Phoenix with a perfectly lofted pass in the corner. And Braylon Freeman, the senior wideout from Columbus, Georgia, with that catch in the corner.
As a defensive back, one of the things that you got to do is look for the ball. And Rodney Coleman never looked up for the football. By the time he turned around and stuff, Freeman had the ball in his hand. It was 6 points.
So execution there by the Tigers of Benedict gives them the lead with 12:20 left in this first half of play. And Pinocchio Rigoberto on to try the point after. And he knocks it through for the Tigers of Benedict College. So they come to life on their homecoming day. They lead at 7-3 over the Golden Bears. 12:20 left first half. Back with more Golden Bear football on WOTM after this timeout.
From a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise. I rise. I rise.
Tigers of Benedict College strike with a touchdown at the corner of the end zone. The Titans, they take a lead. They're first of the ball game, 7-3. And just what you talked about, that at some point that secondary got a little soft there. And a couple of catches there, starting with that little out route that resulted in that first down. And the Tigers were able to take it in through the air.
And now Miles has to answer. Again, the crowd has got some energy to it.
Fair catch going to be called for. It's Fagan once again squeezing the fair catch. And the Golden Bears going to start from the 25-yard line.
It's quite possible, and in fact, not even a possibility. It's about to happen. Daniel Smith is coming in at quarterback for the Golden Bears. And, you know, Fortier did some good things, but he couldn't get the offense into the end zone against one of the more porous defenses in the SIAC. Daniel Smith, you know he can work up top. And now will be interesting to see. There's no Leonard Tyree in. They're going double tight end, it looks like here. And then they've got two receivers, the big receivers, Grant Dubose and Antonio Lee.
Daniel Smith, second team All-SIAC. On the ground, Wade Streeter looks for room. Streeter back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing else there. So the Tigers of Benedict starting to kind of tighten up on that run a bit there up front. And that's perhaps another reason that Daniel Smith is more needed in the lineup now for the Golden Bears.
I imagine some play action's going to be coming here really soon. In fact, they've spread the tight ends out wide.
Smith third in the conference in passing, 184 yards per game average. 68 out of 128 coming into play today. Has those 4 interceptions.
Most of them bad, just making bad decisions with the football, not even necessarily on the reads.
2nd and 10. Ball fake. Smith in the flats. That's Tinch with the catch, but he's wrapped up immediately after the grab.
86, Montavious Tinch.
Flag comes in late there, right around the 30-yard line.
Hayward on the stop for the Tigers of Benedict. Let's check the flag. Looks like it's going to go up against the Tigers of Benedict. We'll check it out, though. They lined up off sides in the first possession by the Golden Bears of the football game. Looks like this one will go against them here.
That play is going to turn into something bigger later in this ball game. We've seen when Aaron James has decided to go to his tight ends, they run a lot of those curl routes, and they're open. That time it didn't look like DeBose did a good job of getting a block on the outside. That allowed for Tinch to get hit immediately. But the other thing that you're going to probably see more of is a lot of plays to this side, near side, at least in this quarter, because that's the side Daniel Smith likes to throw to. When he winds up and goes deep, it's generally Tyree who's playing over here on this side, but he likes to go right up this sideline, so it'll be interesting to see. But we're going to get a penalty, it looks like, against Miles on this one.
Yeah, all indications were they were going to mark it off against the Tigers of Benedict, but it goes against the Golden Bears and pushes them back 5 to the 20-yard line. So 2nd and 15. See what Smith does here. Streeter joins him in the backfield. No Justin Ruiz in play this afternoon. So Streeter going to be asked to carry a lot of that load. But Arias Martin already with action. He actually started the ball game. And they give it to Streeter, left side. Streeter tries to slide back to the inside, but good open field tackle there by Dontavius Hunt. Hunt staying square to the ground there. Streeter couldn't shake him, so that brings up a 3rd and long now. And now that unit of wide receivers, including Leonard Tyree, make it out onto the football field.
Well, these teams the last couple of weeks have been giving Miles their best effort. You know, you get a couple of 0-4 teams, you think, hey, cakewalk time. But as we saw last week, you can't just look at a team and look at their record and assume that it's going to be easy pickings.
Sure.
Because right now, Benedict is giving Miles all it can handle.
Miles are defending SIAC champions as well. And you're right, that's a lot more incentive for the teams that are still looking for their first win. We saw it last weekend, seeing it right now in this ball game. That target kind of goes with you when you are the defending champ. So Smith alone in the backfield here now on a 3rd and long. In the pocket, they flush him, and they get a sack on him. Flag coming in at the back of that play. That might be another hold. We'll see if they didn't face mask, though, or got a collar on him.
Yeah, I think that might have been, it's going to turn into a 1st down for Miles, because that wasn't a natural grab of Daniel Smith at all. The guy got his hand out, may have grabbed the helmet, the face mask, maybe even got it up underneath. Oh, they waved it off.
Wow.
They must have said that it didn't fit the force collar penalty, but that was very unnatural movement right there.
Smith trying to sell it back there. I don't know if you saw him, but he was kind of shaking had his hands on his face mask and trying to shake it. He's showing like he was trying to shake off the cobwebs of being turned around so quickly. Didn't convince the jury. And the Golden Bears will have to punt it away. Jay Fitch will stand near the 6-yard line to do that. And it'll be McGreer back the other way for the return. Fitch trying to turn it over. And it takes a positive bounce there for the Golden Bears all the way inside the 25-yard line. So the Tigers of Benedict will get the football back. Golden Bears countering with Daniel Smith. Smith not able to move the Golden Bears on that possession. So the Tigers with a 7-3 lead with 9:37 left in the first half of play, back on offense. And the question still kind of looms, about that secondary for the Golden Bears. We've tried a lot of different combinations, even trying a different one today. But they've been guilty of giving up a couple of situations in this ball game that allowed that touchdown for the Tigers.
Well, first let's give it up for Jay Fitch. That was a 50-plus yard punt there that kind of turned the field over a little bit for Miles. But exactly what you're saying, it's amazing that the run defense has been so dominant, but the pass defense has been getting lit up week after week, and we've got to find some way to be able to at least get it a little close to the mean.
Phoenix going to take a drop. Got a man out in the flats. Catch made there by McLeod. He turns it upfield, and he runs it for a Tiger first down. So the Tigers right now being very comfortable about these little short passes out in the flats and letting their athletes catch it in space and run it upfield.
As I think about how that 46 defense worked for the Bears back in the 80s, and they would bring the pressure, the one team that was able to kind of dispel that was the Miami Dolphins. And the Dolphins did what? They got in a shotgun, they spread it wide, and they made linebackers cover. And that led for a lot of open spaces. They didn't have to throw the ball down the field very much. You got it to the big speed receivers, and that's where they made the Bears pay.
On the carry is Freeman, right side, on kind of a reverse there. He's wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage there. A good defensive effort by the Golden Bears.
Jalen Thomas able to grab that jersey and stop him in his tracks. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short for Benedict. Miles certainly wants to get this stop right here and get the offense back on the field. They already start running out some different looks. I think they're trying to put it on Benedict's mind that, hey, we can come at you a lot of different ways, but you got to get this stop here first.
They are coming. Looks like they're going to send everybody up front. They go on the ground, right side, and tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. And it was Jennings on the carry, but the Golden Bears got a great surge in there. But let's check the flag out behind that play.
Rodney Coleman was the one who got the stop from the secondary. I want to tell you it might be a hold against Benedict, and Miles will probably decline that. Looks like they're already sending the punt team out.
Yeah, looks like Anthony Robinson coming out there. So are the Tigers of Benedict. They're putting out their punt unit as well.
Penalties decline. Brings up 4th down.
Yeah, trying to run on short yardage against Miles is not in the best interest of the Benedict Tigers today or on any day this season. And to start in a shotgun formation and give them enough time to come close up on the corners, that's not going to work.
All the formula for having to punt the football. Eubanks to do it, and he shanks one here. Eubanks maybe got it 10 yards up in the air and downfield just to the 41-yard line. So very, very short field here for the Golden Bears after the Tigers aren't able to move the football and they shank that punt.
You know, watching him shank the last 2 punts for Benedict kind of brings to mind the movie, what's the name of that movie, The Longest Yard, where they have the guy comes and says kick the ball and he kicks it and it goes sideways. That's 2 poor punts there, but Miles wasn't able to take advantage of the first one. We'll see if the Golden Bears can get in the end zone here with the second one.
They got the momentum by stopping the Tigers on 4th down. Let's see if it can carry over to the offense. Certainly carry it over on special teams with the short punt by the Tigers. Daniel Smith in the offense now from the 41-yard line.
Single coverage on the outside. Leonard Tyree on the far side. Let's keep up with that.
Snap to Smith. They're going to reverse here. Anthony Robinson with the football left side. And he's knocked wickedly out of bounds near the 38-yard line. Took a hard shot just in front of the Golden Bear bench. Brown with the hit. The senior from Albany, Georgia.
You know, when you've got those guys who return punts, they take hits like that all the time. That was nothing more than a little bit of a bump. He's ready to get back out there and make another play.
Absolutely. Just fearless.
But you are seeing one-on-one coverage on the outside, single safety up top. Miles has a chance for a big play here if they can get Smith some protection.
Lee at the bottom of the screen. They'll go on the ground, though, to Streeter instead. Wade fighting on one hand. Look at the second effort by Wade Streeter. Inside and still on his feet after the whistles blow. He must have remembered what he told you in that interview.
You know, that's a great story. No matter how this season finishes for Wade Streeter, he just is a guy who says, look, I'm not going to quit. You know, there's a lot of guys who, given his position on the depth chart, will be looking to transfer somewhere. He's like, look, I'll wait my time. I know it's coming. I just need to wait for it.
Runs that for a complete feet first down to the 27. Ball fake Smith. Dumps it out in the flats. Nicely done. Tench with the catch. He works the sideline. Down at this 15-yard line is where they'll put him out of bounds.
Well, I'm glad Streeter was in on that play right there. He got just enough of a bump because Daniel Smith had the pressure coming right in his face. That little nick right there, a little chip, was enough time to get Tench out into the flats. It's going to be a first down for Miles.
Put him out at the 14. We're at 6:20 left in this first half of play. Miles trailing at 7-3 inside the red zone. Smith looking right, corner of the end zone, and threw it incomplete. Closest man was Hayward on the coverage there. So Anthony Robinson was trying to get into the fray, but Smith unloaded that early.
Yeah, there wasn't really a lot of room to go. That play would have been better if it was short, but the play call was to go to that back corner, and that was well defended there by Benedict.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 and get a first down at the 4. Play clock at 10 now as they get that play from the sideline. Don't have to get it all here. Smith, Streeter with the second effort, just fights his way down near the 10-yard line. Good second and third effort by Streeter. That'll make it 3rd down now. And that's going to be a full 6 at least. Maybe even 7 yards necessary for a first down.
You get this close, especially with the kind of room that you have towards the back part of the end zone, you probably try to go pick it up all right now.
I'm wondering if they're thinking 2 downs. Smith, he'll take the snap. Pressure at the corner, unloads it, and we'll see a flag there. No flag. Well, Anthony may have been held there, but no flag on that play, so that'll bring up 4th down, and this will bring on the field goal unit.
Well, if you take away the part where you said may have, you would be a lot more correct. He was definitely held. It looked like he had his arm, the defender had his arm around Robinson as if to say, hey, let's go somewhere together. There was no way Robinson was going to get to the ball.
So Spradlin comes back on. He's already hit from 29 yards away. And this will be a 27-yard field goal for Spradlin. Fitch holds. Now they're going to fake it. Fitch got a man behind the coverage. Easy touchdown there for the Golden Bears. Tench in the end zone, and Fitch from one knee just tossed it there to Tench.
They've been working on that play for 3 weeks. I've watched them in practice early in the morning, and Jay Fitch never got off his knee. He just threw the football, and Tench was wide open. He actually had to wait for it just a bit. 6 points for the Golden Bears.
Fitch just throws it to the spot. Raised out of it on that one knee and just threw it to the spot. Tench got it, and the Golden Bears reclaim the lead. Nicely done. Spradlin with the kick, and he is true as usual. With 5:06 remaining, Golden Bears take the lead back in style. They lead at 10-7 over the Tigers of Benedict. Timeout here on WOTM Sports.
From a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise. I rise. I rise.
When you see the box score tomorrow, don't think you're seeing the wrong thing. It'll show Jay Fitch connecting with Montavious Tench for a touchdown pass. And the Golden Bears with a 10-7 lead. And this, we'll see if this sparks this Golden Bears and just kind of get them playing at a different level now. Hamill with the kick. This one will come down at the 10 on the return. That's McGreer up to the 23-yard line. That's where the Tigers of Benedict start. Benedict band down here to our left, pumping things up. Want to get things started here. That purple marching machine come right in here and take over if you get them fired up over there now.
Well, they've been going back and forth the entire game. No one seems to be too concerned about taking penalties, but this is going to go all day.
So the Tigers back out on the football field with 4:58 left, first half of play. Pretty quick moving first half of football. Of course, anything's quick compared to what we had last weekend. So
yeah, it's like they owe us some time back or something like that. Looks like it's going to be calling some sort of timeout.
Yeah, looks like the Tigers took a timeout. I don't know if the play clock was just in jeopardy of running down, but they did take a timeout. We'll stay here with this one, though, at 4:58 left in this first half. And we were talking about it at the break. Almost every special teams effort that's involved a kind of a trick play for the Golden Bears at this point in the season has worked for them.
They've got 3 onside kicks that have worked. You've got a blocked punt on the very first play, first punt attempt of the season. They blocked it and returned it for a score. Special teams has done an outstanding job, and this year is the first year in a couple years that they haven't had a specific coach, so the entire staff is actually in on the planning of the special teams play. And so I think it's Coach McKinnon who makes the calls on those sometimes in conjunction with Coach Ruffin, but everyone is in, and it seems like it's what keeps practice fresh. These guys know they're going out there to work on something that's going to be a big part of the game plan week to week.
There's such an opportune call on that touchdown pass from Fitch. 1st and 10 for the Tigers after the timeout. I'm not sure if that's one that they really wanted to burn, but they had to. And now some of the Golden Bear players are pointing on the other side to the Tigers. And that gets the attention of the officiating crew. Set for action, though. Gregory Matthews, the senior out there, lining up on the outside. He got 5 up front for the Golden Bears. Tigers go on the ground up near the 30-yard line as they unpowell that football at the 30. Carry there by Jennings for them.
Benedict has had a couple of solid runs here in the first half, although the overall numbers aren't going to show that they put up big numbers on the ground. They've snapped off a couple of decent runs, at least for what Miles has given up all season.
They go on the ground again. Jennings hit hard there near the 28-yard line. Good stick on the play there by Natavius Floyd for the Golden Bears.
Again, bringing in waves of players who've got starting experience, starter skill. You got to battle for it every week on the practice field here for the Golden Bears. And if you don't practice as strong as the next person, you're going to watch from the beginning. But that doesn't mean you don't get into play. And when Miles can bring in guys like Floyd and like Evans and Jarius Shea who can play some nickel and dime back, you've got a strong team in the making.
Phoenix trying to get a man out behind the space and shot it too far downfield. He's trying to get it to Washington on a go route, but Phoenix just pushing that football out way too far for the receivers.
Yeah, a little happy feet there. The pressure started to come in his face. He knew he had a play, but he didn't. He was running out of time to be able to deliver that football, so he figured if I can get it out there far enough, maybe my receiver can run it down, but that was not the case there on first down.
Phoenix, the freshman from Savannah, Georgia, as you indicate they're a little bit happy with the feet. 2nd and 10. We're under 4 minutes left here in this first half. It's homecoming for the Tigers of Benedict College. They are still looking for their first win of the season. Golden Bears would like to keep it that way. On the ground they go, and this time the carry by Turner. And Turner worked it up to the 35-yard line, so they're going to make it a 3rd down. And about 8 or 9 for the Tigers. So the Golden Bears looking at an opportunity here if they can stop them on this 3rd down play, get this football back with enough time to punch another score in before the halftime.
The most impressive thing that's been happening, or the most helpful thing that Benedict has done for Miles, has been punting the football. They've put more yards going up in the air than they have going up and down the field. So maybe Miles can force another punt and get another short field.
3rd and 9 for the Tigers. Phoenix in shotgun. Golden Bears showing they're coming. They throw some pressure at him. The freshman steps up in the pocket. Here comes that relentless pressure and a fumble on the play and a flag coming in at the back of it. I think Turner was able to fall on it for Benedict. But let's check the flag. That'll likely be a hold against the Tigers. And likely the Golden Bears will decline that.
You know, Ozzie Williams was a guy who came in here, a lot of fanfare, went to Bessemer City High School, not too far down the road from Miles, and they were expecting big things from him, but the first year he gets in here, he's not able to get the playing time. He's run into some issues as far as his practice habits, and so he got buried in the depth chart a little bit, but he has slowly made his way to where now he is the starting middle linebacker. At least this week he is, and he has shown the last couple of weeks the kind of ability that he has and what Miles has been depending on or looking for from him since they recruited him.
Eubanks to punt it. Better punt there by Eubanks this time. Drives it way over the head of Anthony Robinson. This one's going to go inside the 10-yard line and even inside the 5. So Eubanks makes up for the couple of snafus he's had already with a driving punt down the field, and the Golden Bears will start it inside of their own 5.
I don't know if Benedict has a backup punter, but I'm pretty sure that he was on the ready if there was another punt straight in the air. Eubanks gets off a beauty right there. Miles wasn't even trying to chase it down. Anthony Robinson had played up, and that left no one back there to keep that ball from continuing to roll, and now Miles 96 yards from pay dirt. It'll be interesting to see what Benedict does defensively. We've seen on the last couple of series, they've been playing a single safety high, and Miles has not tried to exploit that. But you know, Miles has the kind of speed on the outside where they can run down some deep passes, and Daniel Smith has shown over the years that he is able to deliver the football that way.
Starting from their own 4. You get the sense Eubanks was saying, hey, you guys gonna play me like that? Play that short on me. I'm a legitimate punter here. Yeah. Got off a good one there. Smith, see if they can get off a good possession here. On the ground, Edwards. Hog-tied at the line of scrimmage. Never even made it back to the line of scrimmage. Loss of about 2 on that play. That one, the handoff starting so deep in the backfield. And Edwards knocked down at the 2.
It's rare that Miles is going backwards, has had some negative plays when they've run the football, and I mean all year long. Teams have not been able to get into the backfield and trip up the Miles running backs. But that time, good interior pressure, and Edwards unable to make much happen when he got the football.
2:10 remains first half. Smith. This time, he'll give it to Edwards. Edwards works to the left side up to the 10-yard line. That's a better positive yard run there by Edwards. That'll make it 3rd down now and about 4 for the Golden Bears.
And it kind of allows for a different set of plays that you can run if you're Miles, especially, you know, tight end. Tinch maybe can come into the flat there, something that doesn't take near as long to develop.
Got a minute 39. Smith looking for a play clock somewhere, trying to get it in sync with the call. Is at 15. He'll take the snap. Edwards with the handoff straight ahead. That's not going to be enough to move the pack there. No gain on that, so that'll bring up a 4th down now for the Golden Bears. And then now the Tigers of Benedict, looks like they're going to try to burn a timeout here with the idea that they'll get it back and a chance to at least take a couple shots at the end zone.
I think that was a design series there for Miles where they just wanted to kind of burn some clock. Benedict only had 1 timeout left. Miles just decided, hey, we're going to go ahead and try to let the clock run down and leave them little time to try to get an offensive series where they can get into the end zone or even put points on the board.
Likely a different scenario if Eubanks does not get that punt off that he did. If they'd gotten that football back where Anthony was standing to return it, it would have warranted a different approach to those final 2 minutes and 40 seconds when they started the possession.
Well, I imagine that Benedict is going to come after this punt and come after it heavy. Jay Fitch had a nice punt on the last series. He's actually been the man here in the first half. He's got a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
He's got a 50-yard punt. A little early viability for special teams player of the week. We've got a long ways to go here, and you're going to want to get this punt off to kind of keep those hopes alive.
McGreer will stand near midfield. Tigers spread across that front, trying to see if they can't find a lane. Snap. Fitch with another good kick there. McGreer backpedals and squeezes at the 37. Tight sideline to work with there. He's wrapped up immediately about special teams for the Golden Bears. So Fitch with a nice punt there for the Golden Bears.
Another 50-plus yard punt there for Jay Fitch. And I talked to Jay this week. We were talking about some of the problems that happened during that ball game last week. Jake Anderson having a little problem handling the snap. He talked about the fear of the rush. And he said that rush is coming. He says, I'd be a little nervous out there too when it comes at me, but he says I'm not near as worried about them hitting me. He says I'm a big guy, I can take those kind of hits. He says it's about being able to catch the ball, and if you don't catch that ball right, a whole lot of things can go wrong. So the most important part is catching the ball, and then you do what you need to do. And that time Jay Fitch did an outstanding job catching, kicking, and making the field long for Benedict.
See, I told you should have been a coach. Phoenix scrambles left to his right, works his way out of bounds in the Golden Bear bench. Pick up a maybe 2 on that.
Everything went like it was supposed to on that play, with the exception of Miles not being able to get much penetration. But on the backside, they had it covered. There was nowhere to throw the football. The offensive line for Benedict was able to keep Miles from penetrating, and quarterback just took off and ran, but he only picked up 1.
Yeah, ran about 30 yards to get that 1 yard. We're under a minute left here in this first half of play. 10-7 lead, Golden Bears. Columbia, South Carolina, on the campus of Benedict College. Charlie Johnson Stadium, one of the best stadiums in the SIAC. Phoenix scrambling, backside pressure. He waited and waited. I don't know, thought he thought somebody was going to clear over there, but had to finally toss it over into their bench, incomplete.
Defensive backs there. You saw Rodney Coleman, Kendrell Walker, who has blitzed a whole lot more this season than I've ever seen over his first 2 seasons of his career. That play looked like one of those old Madden plays where the quarterback could drift and drift and drift, and it looked like he wanted to still try to throw it 40 or 50 yards. He had to throw it away because the pressure was coming. And with 50 seconds on the clock, if Miles can get a stop here, they've got all 3 timeouts. They might try to put some more points on the board, but it's the stop here that's going to be the biggest thing. We saw it happen against Clark last week. 3rd and long right before the half. Big touchdown pass. You don't want that to happen.
Coming at the corners. They go on the ground. First effort there. The Golden Bears not able to pull them down, but now they do so at the 46-yard line. So a timeout taken with 42 seconds left now, and the Tigers, short of that first down, they'll have to punt the football away.
Strong defensive series there by Miles. First flushing out the run, forcing them to have to try to throw the football. That didn't work. They tried to run it again on 3rd and long, and nothing doing. So Miles is going to get the football back, and hopefully you can get a nice return where you can get the ball with about 30, 35 seconds remaining with a short enough field to be able to at least get in the field goal range for Jackson Spradlin.
You're right. A few years ago, that would not have been the formula, because you still had to worry about, you had to almost take it all the way to the end zone. But with Spradlin on that roster and the great job he's doing, you get it to his range, and he's hit from 48 early on in this season.
And this special teams group, outside of that last punt, has not been strong today. And again, this season, it's been a problem on the 3rd leg of the teams, which is the special of the units. The special teams has not been very good for Benedict.
Eubanks with another opportunity here. Got it airborne. Anthony Robinson catches it on the fly. Great job by him to field it. Now look at Anthony. Streaks across midfield. And that's the field position you want with these 31 seconds left.
Benedict gave up on that. They just assumed that Anthony Robinson was going to call for a fair catch, and I'm sure he knew it. So he took it and was like, I'm going to try to get to the house. He was 1 move away from breaking it, and it's going to set Miles up in great field position. You got 2 timeouts, 31 seconds left. You're probably 5 to 7 yards from field goal range right now.
And Tyree, he sets up in the inside of a triple set here at the bottom of the screen. Grant DeBose on the outside. Looks like McNeely there with him as well. Snap to Smith. Surveys, looks to his right. They flush him left. He's got some room there if he decides to run. He does. Tiptoes the sideline, and Smith got a little bit more out of that just walking the sideline.
He's our quarterback, and I want to see him do well, and I don't want to see him get hurt. But, man, that rule against how you can hit quarterbacks worked right into Miles' favor. It's not necessarily even fair, because if the defender had come and lit up Smith, that would have been 15 yards. And Smith used the sideline, said, I can get a couple extra yards. He comes back in before he goes out of bounds and picks up 2 or 3 extra.
Yeah, looks like they say he stepped out at the 40. But good job of tiptoeing the sideline by Smith. Second down effort here. He looks to the middle of the field, fires. That's Tyree sliding across the line, and Tyree with the catch to the 35-yard line. Now 16 seconds left here.
I think Miles is going to take a timeout here.
He did, yeah. It's going to be third down for the Golden Bears after the timeout. 16 seconds left. About a yard for the first down.
So Miles can look at it a couple of different ways. You can try to get downfield a little more, burn that timeout, take a shot at the end zone, and hope that you got time for a field goal from wherever you make the play. Or you can just try to get something across the middle, get a first down, just get in a better position, because at this point, that field goal is going to be at about 52 yards. And Spradlin, when we talked to him earlier this season, he says he believes he can hit it from about 60 to 62 yards. He said you get the adrenaline. He said especially if you get a nice win. If you look at the flags, they're really not much blowing here in Charlie Johnson Stadium, but 52 yards, he doesn't seem to be too moved by having to kick one from that distance.
Probably perfect conditions on this day here in Columbia to do that. But you can, if you can get something at the sidelines to pick up an extra 5-10 yards, that'd be even more of a bonus for the field goal attempt. Offense making it back out onto the field, facing a third down and 1. 16 seconds left before the halftime.
I would imagine there's going to be something open in the middle of the field, because Benedict is going to try to play to the sideline. And you've got Tyree in the slot.
McNeely and DeBose as well. Smith looking that way, still looking that way, going for Tyree, underthrown football. That is the last thing that you wanted. Smith underthrew the football, and they throw an interception.
Tyree got behind both defenders, and Smith did not deliver the football there. That should have been 6 points for Miles, and instead it turns into Daniel Smith's 5th interception.
So Smith not able to heave it far enough to the end zone there. It was a long throw for him, because he was actually angled a bit to his left to throw that football. So the Tigers are able to get the pick with 8 seconds left and kind of keep things where they are going into the break. Now, to your point about a team that is desperate for a win, there you needed that score.
Here's the deal, though. They've got to run a play here from inside the 1-yard line. You can't just take a knee. That'll be a safety. So they've got to try to push forward to pick up something. It'll be interesting to see if Miles decides to try to go all out and try to get 2 points a quick way. But you've got one-on-one coverage on the outside. Looks like you got a safety high. Miles had to call a timeout because Kendrell Walker was late getting out onto the field.
Yeah, but they didn't have a setup there at that front line as well. It looked like they were not going to try to put any pressure on that, but Coach Ruffin able to step in and get that timeout. I think you're right. This is an opportunity here, given what you've seen so far in the Tigers in their run game, that you can likely get a good surge up front and push them down in the end zone.
And maybe the Tigers looked at it and was like, we'll slide one guy out here and see if we can steal us one on the outside, because if there's an Achilles heel to this team, especially this defense, it's the defensive backs. And to go one-on-one on the outside, if you got enough time to get the playoff, then maybe you take the shot.
8 seconds left in this first half. Boy, that scoreboard would look a lot better going into the intermission, leading at 17-7 versus 10-7. Or even 13-7. So they took the field goal off the plate when they went for that touchdown pass to Tyree. And now the off defense for the Golden Bears back out now. See if they can make something happen here, and likely our final play of this first half.
So they've got it looks like the victory formation.
Yeah,
they're going to just try to push forward, but if you can get a surge.
Yeah, you can put him down right there. They found a crease in there just to get it going. So that will bring us to the end of the first half here at Charlie Johnson Stadium. At the break, it's a 10-7 lead for the Golden Bears of Miles College over the Tigers of Benedict. We'll take a time out here. Band activities coming your way on WOTM Sports.
Don't you just love rain? It's nature's way of watering the earth. Thunderstorms are a different story. Poppy really freaks out if the lights go off. That's why we love Alabama Power. As soon as it's safe, they work day and night to get the lights back on. Fast. Kind of like real-life superheroes. I know they do it for everybody, but sometimes I think they do it just for Poppy. Say thanks, Poppy.
Yeah, you heard that right.
We are Miles College. Minutes away, miles ahead. This is the institution where we keep God first in everything that we do. Right now, it's time for our high school roll call. Modern High School, make some noise! Harding University High School, make some noise! The Big Red Marching Machine, let me hear you right now! High school, let me hear you right now.
So, Darren, you're with the UPS store?
Yeah, we actually printed these invites.
Wow. I thought you guys just did shipping.
No, we do printing, packing, shredding, notarizing, mailboxing, faxing, binding, taping, laminating, copying, consulting, creating, designing, returning, and, of course, shipping.
Cool.
Nice costume.
It's my work uniform. Where are you going?
Go to the UPS store for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping.
And we're back. Welcome upstairs to Charlie Johnson Stadium. At halftime, it's a 10-7 lead for the Golden Bears of Miles College AA. But in that first half, they had a chance to take even more momentum into the locker room, just not able to convert on that pass.
Well, the numbers look like Miles should be not only winning, but winning rather handily. And right now, the Golden Bears have not been able to execute like they want to on offense. The only touchdown coming on a special teams gadget play where Jay Fitch threw it to Montavious Tinch. The offense is not in sync. They've already made the quarterback switch. It's going to be interesting to see what Miles can conjure during halftime to get them to come out a little more consistent in the second half.
Talk about this ball game. We talked about it in the pregame. It's a contest that you really wanted to take control of early on because this is a team desperate for its first win. And right now, Miles just not able to knock them out.
You know, again, it looks like what was happening against Clark Atlanta last week. It reminds me of a couple years ago when we went to Kentucky State and Miles, for whatever reason, was unable to put Kentucky State away. They were able to get a late touchdown on homecoming and get an upset win on its way to the SIAC championship game. I don't think Benedict is that kind of team that's going to have that kind of opportunity, but you do not want to let these kind of teams stick around because it'll be late and it only takes one play to finish you off, and you do not want that, especially as you can see the Benedict offense, their touchdown came against the Miles passing defense, which has been a problem all season long.
Looking into the second half of this ball game, what do you think is the biggest area that we're going to see some improvement from the Golden Bears?
Well, you want to improve on third downs. Miles is 1 of 8 on third downs. You've got to be able to keep drives going, and you've got to punch the ball into the end zone. If you're going to outgain them 2-1 in yards, you're going to be able to keep them from throwing the football. I mean, Benedict doesn't have 100 yards at halftime at this point. If you're going to be able to do that on defense, on offense, you've got to turn around and punish them with it. You got to get the ball into the end zone.
10-7 at the break. Golden Bears lead it. We'll see what happens in the second half of play or after this break.
Don't you just love rain? It's nature's way of watering the earth. Thunderstorms are a different story. Poppy really freaks out if the lights go off. That's why we love Alabama Power. As soon as it's safe, they work day and night to get the lights back on. Fast. Kind of like real-life superheroes. I know they do it for everybody, but sometimes I think they do it just for Poppy. Say thanks, Poppy.
You heard that right.
Back live at Charlie Johnson Stadium on the campus of Benedict College. It's a 10-7 lead for the Golden Bears as we get set to start third quarter action. Charles Ward, A.A. Moore here with the play call. Producer director Randy Higgins and Jake Marshall on hand to get us through our production here of our contest this afternoon. Golden Bears, opportunity at the end of that first half to extend their lead here. Not able to convert on a pass from Smith to Tyree in the end zone. And it remains 10-7 as we get set to start the second half. And it'll be Brady Hamill to kick it away for the Golden Bears, which means the Tigers will have it on offense to start third quarter action. And they're going to go with the pooch kick there again, just over the line. Boy, a flag coming in on that play. The receiver hit hard there, low and high on that, but let's check the flag.
You know, you got to pay a price, apparently, if you're trying to field the Miles kickoffs, whether they're short pooches or straight onside kicks.
We'll check the flag here. I don't know if maybe we're Golden Bears were offsides or, yeah. So they went back with a pooch kick there, a little onside kick. It's one of the few times this year that it did not work in the favor of the Golden Bears.
Well, I think, I don't know if that's, the natural motion of what's supposed to happen, but it looked like that was not as fluid as some of the other ones. He kind of, and Brady Hamill kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it was almost like it was a telltale right there that he wasn't kicking it deep.
So they'll put it at the 46, and this is where the Tigers will start third quarter action. Still the freshman Eric Phoenix at quarterback. And he'll keep it himself. Maybe a busted play there. Works it back to the inside. Lost a yard on the play.
Looks like Ozzie Williams was in there along with DeAndre McCurry on the stop.
Yep. Update for some other scores around the SIAC. Fort Valley with a 31-20 lead over Central State. That's in the second quarter. Alcorn over Savannah State 7-0. First quarter action there. Albany State and Lane College tied at 7 each in the first quarter. And Clark Atlanta and Kentucky State scoreless in the second. And the game we're keeping a close eye on, Tuskegee with a 14-7 lead over the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse College. That's in second quarter action in the Morehouse Tuskegee Classic in Columbus, Georgia. Phoenix rolls, fires at the sideline. I think they're going to give him the catch there.
I can't believe they gave him the catch. It didn't look like he had his feet. He had to dive to catch it out of bounds. That should have been an incomplete pass.
They'll ring it up as a catch, though, at the 49-yard line, just on the Golden Bear side of the field.
Just briefly back to the scores, you talked about Fort Valley State. Boy, they have really picked it up over the last couple of weeks. Slade Jarman has found his groove, and they're putting up big points down at Fort Valley. It's going to be interesting to see if that would be the team that can come out of the East. That game against Miles didn't count in the SIAC standings, so Fort Valley on quite the roll right now.
Yeah, you talk about that roll. They beat this team, this Benedict Tiger team, 50-16 2 weeks ago, and there's the sack there on Phoenix back at the 40-yard line. That's a heavy surge there by the Golden Bears. Good job there with 3 or 4 players in on the sack of Phoenix. One of the Golden Bears down, though, after that play. Not sure if that's Maxwell.
That may be Rodney Coleman trying to get a better look right now. They brought the safety blitz, or the corner blitz, and it looked like Cameron Sneed was a little upset. No, that's going to be Nick Floyd who came.
Floyd down.
But Cameron Sneed was a little disappointed because Nick beat him to the quarterback sack. It was like a race to see who could pull Phoenix down first, and Nick Floyd beat him to the spot, but he paid a little bit of a price. But it looks like he's up and walking off under his own power. Maybe he just had the wind knocked out of him because Sneed was right there with him. May have fell on top of him.
They were all coming for it, that's right. So Floyd will get the credit for it. Floyd, his third sack of the season, came in 7th in the conference. Punt there, another good punt turned over there by Eubanks. This time it'll be Robinson at the 20. Streaks the sideline, works his way up near the 40. We'll see if he stepped out prior to that, though.
Well, that was nearly a block in the back, but good return there by Anthony Robinson, and he's made it a little interesting here, returning punts. That time he catches the ball over his shoulder while on the move going backwards, and then he just instantly turns it upfield, gets a big positive gain. Miles has good field position to start the second half.
His best effort so far in terms of punt returning this season for the Golden Bears. In today's action, had a big one there in the first half of play, and another nice one there at the 41. See if that can get that offense sparked. And as you check out the returning quarterback for the Golden Bears, is Lajon Cordier back out now calling the signals.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know what's not clicking with Daniel Smith at this moment, but one thing that Lajon is not doing is turning the ball over, so it's not that hard of a call to be able to bring him back into the ball game, especially when neither of them have really produced any points offensively.
1st and 10. Cordier ball fake, pressure, it's backside. He didn't see it. Able to hold on to that football somehow, though. Tigers sent the blitz from his blind side, and they got him near the 33-yard line.
Boy, sometimes those plays take a bit to develop. You got to get your receiver downfield, and they were trying to go deep to Leonard Tyree, and instead he takes the hit, and in fact he comes out of the ball game. Daniel Smith immediately back into the game.
Boy, Cordier trying to get a peep over there at that sideline. Took a hard shot, had his body fully open and exposed frontally, and he's to the sideline. So Smith back out now. 2nd and 18 for the Golden Bears. Back at their own 33. Smith on the ground. Streeter wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Ahead for 2 yards, maybe, not much more.
Streeter had 60 yards on the ground at the half. And the last several weeks, Miles has really been doing his job on the ground, whether it's Streeter this week or the week before last week or just last week with Justin Ruiz. And, of course, we talked about the first week where we had 200-yard rushers. Right. Miles has really been doing a great job on the ground, but right now that has not led to points. And right now a very precarious 3-point lead.
3rd down and 16. A precarious situation here. That's 3rd and long. Smith got some time in the pocket, fires upfield, threw it high, pass, batted around. That one's going to be picked off. Picked off at midfield. It was Matthew Anthony, the senior from Louisville, Georgia, with the interception for the Tigers. Now, that's not really his. It's a high-thrown ball, but very catchable at midfield.
Well, it was clearly in the hands of Dominique McNeely. It was a tough throw. He had to throw it there, though, just to be able to kind of get it beyond the reach of the defensive backs for Benedict. And when McNeely didn't bring it in, it made it very easy to be picked off. So a lot of, if you want to give blame or assign reasons why that play ended up like it did, you can probably give it to both of them. Yeah. Well, at least I will. You only have to give it to one. It's okay. I'm not going to force you to do anything, Charles.
I just follow your lead. We'll split it. It'll go down as the interception for Smith, though. At midfield, the Tigers will have the football. They go on the ground, clipped up behind the line of scrimmage. Good play there. Flag coming in. No, is that a flag or some equipment there at the back of that play?
And it looked like Jerry Shade lost his helmet and his mouthpiece. I don't know where the penalty flag is. I don't see it.
I think it was maybe somebody's towel that was down there. That was kind of yellow in color.
Yeah, and Shade's going to have to come out of the game because his helmet came off, so he's going to have to step off for one play.
So back to the 45-yard line now. After the wrap-up of Bloodshaw on that carry. 11:08 left in the 3rd. Miles, first of a 3-game road set. In Jacksonville next weekend, and then Wilberforce the week after that. Now they're going to go with the quarterback Phillip Brown, and Brown is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. So Ozzie Williams with that sticker?
No, that's going to be DeAndre McCurry. And that play worked in the first half where they rolled the entire line and gave the quarterback an opportunity to throw to someone. But that time, the defensive backfield had it covered. And unfortunately, there for Brown, he got a big shot right in the sternum from DeAndre McCurry.
McCurry says, welcome to the football game. Brown slated to start this contest for the Tigers, but seeing his first spot of duty at quarterback now, 6'1", 210-pound senior from Lincoln, Georgia. 3rd, as Brown chased right side. They catch up with him again. They'll get another sack on him. See who comes up from the bottom of that pile. This time it looks like Floyd again in there for the Golden Bears.
Floyd was in there. Mitchell Smiley in there. I think I saw one of my cousins in there trying to get a sack as well. Everybody was coming. And Miles' defense really sets the tone here in the 3rd quarter. The pass rush is starting to get home, and it's starting to shorten the field a bit for the Golden Bears.
Eubanks on to punt it away. Line drive kick by Eubanks. Robinson will have another return there. Squeezes at the 27. Wrapped up immediately, but stays on his feet. Check the flag, though. Robinson's got some space right side. Now trying to cut back to the interior. They wrap up with him at the 42, but let's check the flag that came in near the 30-yard line.
You know what that generally means.
Yeah,
it means it's coming back.
We have to just play it by ear. Can't be presumptuous about it, but Robinson Another good setup for a return there. And a lot more aggressive about going after that football on a day like this. A lot better conditions for him to show his abilities as a punt returner.
Nice dry track. That field is marvelous. This whole facility looks great. Like you said earlier, one of the best, if not the best, in the entire conference. We haven't been here for a little while, so this is our first chance to kind of get a look at it. And I was talking with Sports Information Director Dennis Switzer, and he was telling me everything in here is new. The field's new, the scoreboard, the shrubbery. They're spelling Benedict out there in the back. That's some new stuff as well. They're really putting on a fine show here. Now they are trying to get their football team to kind of follow the lead of what's happening here in the stadium.
Indeed. You talk about that new Jumbotron that they have down there in the end zone to our left. If you look just a little bit beyond that, you can see the old scoreboard still sitting down there. Hasn't even been carted off yet.
Just over there chilling, hoping someone takes it home.
Like, tag, you're it, man. I'm retired. So after the assessment against the Golden Bears, they'll start this drive from their own 22-yard line. Cordier in the pocket now, looking up. Here comes the pressure again. He'll raise, fire, threw it behind the receiver, and another interception there. Threw it behind the receiver, was trying to get it to Hudson, but it's picked off by Robert Cummings, the senior. Cummings leads this team in interceptions. That's his second of the season, and it gives a very short field for the Benedict Tigers to work with.
If you want to win a championship, you've got to get strong quarterback play, and right now, it has been very inconsistent for the Golden Bears. It doesn't matter who's been in there. You've seen some stretches of brilliance, but you've also seen what we've seen here today. It doesn't matter who's in there. They're making tough throws, making it difficult for the defense to try to continue to prop this defense up. When you leave it a short field, that's a problem, and not only that, you keep putting the defense out there. It's warm out there. That field, that turf field with the rubber base, it's easily 100 degrees or so down on that field.
Yeah, short field and short rest for that defense. Golden Bear defense back out there defending from the 31. On the ground, Turner trying to create something for the Tigers, but he's knocked down right about up there. Maybe 1-2 yard pickup for the Tigers right side. Ozzie Williams coming up from under that pile for the Golden Bears on the shop as we go down to 8:47 remaining in the third, and Miles with a 10-7 lead over Benedict.
Right now, it appears that for Benedict to win this game, it's going to come down to, can we pass the football? Because right now, running it is not the move for the Tigers.
And right now, they are just getting a better surge up front with their defensive line than we are offensively holding them back. They go with another dive play right side with Turner again, and no gain on that play by Turner.
So it's setting up a 3rd and long. We've seen the last 2 series on 3rd down. Miles has brought the house. And it doesn't matter which quarterback they got in there. Both of them have gone down. So
there's Phoenix in there now. It's his turn to go down. 3rd down and 8 for the Tigers at the 29 of the Golden Bears.
29-yard line.
See if the Golden Bears here can make a stop. Snap to Phoenix. Pressure. Unloads at the sideline. Catch is made there. Creating the contact after the catch is Elsley. And Elsley got it down to the 16. That's enough for the Benedict first down.
He's the only guy catching passes for them. They had 2 completions in the first half. This half, I think that's the first one that they've completed, and Elsley has caught them all, if I'm correct. So pretty much you might want to just go ahead and double team him. In basketball, they run the box and 1. It's like you're not even going to get the ball. He seems to be the guy that you need to shut down, and Benedict should have to find someone else to beat this Miles defense.
Snap to Phoenix. Ball fake out in the flats. Catch made at the corner and chased out of bounds. That was Bloodshaw with the reception. And picked up a yard on the play. We're headed to 7 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. And the Golden Bears, after an interception by Cordier near the 30-yard line, working with a short field here and inside the red zone now. So the Tigers at the 15-yard line. Phoenix On the ground. This is Bud Shaw again looking for the sideline. Won't get there. Good open field tackle there by Tavius Floyd for the Golden Bears.
And it was like there were 3 guys waiting for him to try to turn the corner. Nick Floyd just happened to be the first guy in line. He wasn't going to turn that corner. And Nick Floyd and that linebacking core has done an outstanding job. As you can see, this drive or this set of downs started at the 16. They're already back outside or right on the edge of the red zone. Find number 8. Somebody get him some help over there because it appears that he's going to be the guy who's going to get the football.
It's down at the bottom of the screen. With the snap, they're looking that way. That's their sight. They got it to him. Elsie works it inside, and he will score for the Tigers of Benedict. They went right to the guy you were talking about, and they played him soft, made the catch, created some contact, and worked through that and scored.
Unbelievable that the play was that easy to see. He's the only guy who's made any plays in the pass game, and like you said, they played him soft. They didn't, you got a better chance almost of playing a man and making the quarterback beat you long, because as we've seen on a couple of passes, they have not shown the ability to throw touch passes or getting them over top of the defense.
Rigoberto now on to try the point after for the Tigers of Benedict. They reclaim a lead here. Rigoberto knocks it through for the Tigers of Benedict. So they take a 14-10 lead over the Golden Bears of Miles College with 5:55 remaining in the third. Timeout here. We'll take a break on WOTM Sports.
So, Darren, you're with the UPS store?
Yeah, we actually printed these invites.
Wow. I thought you guys just did shipping.
No, we do printing, packing, shredding, notarizing, mailboxing, faxing, binding, taping, laminating, copying, consulting, creating, designing, returning, and, of course, shipping.
Cool.
Nice costume.
It's my work uniform. Where are you going?
Go to the UPS store for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping.
Tigers of Benedict College on their homecoming reclaim a lead with 5:55 remaining in the third. They get the pass to Elsie near the 10. He just fights his way through a couple of tackles and into the end zone for the touchdown for Benedict College.
Second week in a row, an inferior or supposedly inferior opponent has hung in here in the second half, and Miles is going to have to fight from behind in the third quarter.
Fagan there with receiving a short kick by the Tigers on special teams, able to collect it at the 27-yard line. And that's where the offense comes back out on the field. Question's going to be who's going to come out of that huddle at the sideline as quarterback.
Yeah, both of them on their last pass have made 2 tough throws. And, it's just going to be interesting to see. Somebody needs to step up and lead this team at this point. The defense is playing about as well as it can, the defensive backfield notwithstanding. But it looks like Daniel Smith is going to be the guy.
Smith is up again.
There's not many 4-1 teams that have this kind of arrangement at quarterback where they're just having trouble finding the guy.
Well, the situation really warrants Smith being in there, but he's got to execute. Trailing, you really want his ability to throw out there as a part of the offensive mix. Officials stepping in now. I don't know. Boy, it's an assessment against the Golden Bears.
A delay of game coming off of a dead ball is one of the more cardinal sins, and Coach Ruffin has about had enough. He's calling a timeout, it looks like, to try to get this team together.
Well, and that was more that timeout. He was directing some of that frustration to the coaching staff to his right, and likely maybe not getting a play in soon enough, but it caused the Golden Bears 5 yards. It'll push them back to the 23-yard line. First and 15 from there. Snap to Smith. On the ground, Edwards looking for some space. He'll work it to the 25-yard line. Pick up about 3 on that play by Edwards.
Again, the running game has done well by Miles today, and maybe right now you kind of run the ball a little bit, try to see if you can pick up some first downs and get some sort of rhythm going with the offense, because it's been 1 play and off, 2 plays and off, and you're not going to find any kind of offensive continuity doing it that way.
Second down, 12. Ball fake, pass up the field as Robinson with the catch. LeAnthony working the sideline, grabbed by the jersey near the 34. Forward progress will likely be there at the 34. So that'll make it a 3rd down and short, a 3rd and 4 here for the Golden Bears. But you got to keep this football here. We're at 4:56 left in the 3rd. You want to stay on the field here offensively. Had him in that zone there, just didn't go with the snap. Now play clock working its way down to 10. Yeah, now it's at 7, so Smith still plenty of time there to get it off. He'll take the snap. Short fake across the middle, in traffic, and pass goes incomplete. Trying to get it to McNeely. He was behind the sticks, but that's some good defensive coverage work there by the Tigers and Robert Cummings.
That play looked just a bit disjointed. Smith dropped back to pass, and it didn't look like he was ready to deliver the football when he wanted to, or maybe McNeely wasn't where he needed to be when Smith was ready to deliver the pass.
Cummings, first team All-SIAC, able to break that up for the Tigers. So Jay Fitch on now to try to punt it away here with 4:24 left in the 3rd, and Benedict leading it 14-10.
Fitch averaging almost 48 a punt.
Another good kick there by Fitch. Line drive. McGreer to a field fair catch at the 25. So here you play a little bit of field position. Shut the Tigers down. Get them on a 3 and out. Better leverage to work with field wise, but you got to execute offensively once you get out there.
Benedict has not run anything offensively that makes you say we can't stop this or this is too complex. They've run a couple of dives, it looked like, a couple of off tackles. They've rolled the quarterback out some. None of those plays have really worked. They've really hit on 2 big plays where on the first touchdown, Coleman did not look up. On the second touchdown over here, DB slips, and you've got to find some way to get the stops to get off of the field.
Phoenix ball fake, gives it on the inside. This is Jennings with the carry. Jennings to the 31. So that's about 5 on that trap play that's run by the Tigers. 4:04 left in the 3rd. So 2nd down and 5, and now for Benedict.
Let's not make any, crazy predictions like Miles is way out of this ball game. A stop and a score, and all of a sudden you're back on top. This just does not look like the Miles team that we saw the first 4 weeks of the season.
On the ground, it's Jennings once again. Pickup of 2 this time. That'll make it 3rd and 2 for the Tigers. Yeah, by no stretch of the imagination, got 3:23 left in the 3rd and then a full 4th quarter left. You just want to see that momentum start to change and this team get back into the gear that we've seen them. Good 3rd down stop might be well in order to go on the way to getting that momentum. Phoenix going to set initially in shotgun here. That'll give the Bears a chance to kind of pin back and come inside. They do. Phoenix wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, and they are going to stop the Tigers on this 3rd down play.
Well, that play didn't look good from the start.
Not at all.
It looked like 2-3 different guys who knew they didn't want to run into that Golden Bears blitz, and they were like, I don't want it, and all of a sudden the quarterback is left with it, and he had to eat it.
Nothing decisive about that play set at all for the Tigers of Benedict. So Eubanks on the punt it away. That's a perfect time for him to shank one. He's done a couple in this football game.
I could see with some good protection, a good return here.
There's a fake by Eubanks. Can he get to the sticks? He's trying there, and they knock him out of bounds. It'll depend on the mark. And it all depends on when they pick that marker up, whether he got there or not. I'm not sure.
I think they've already
I think they said he's got the first. So the Tigers pull out a little bit of trick here in this 3rd quarter as Eubanks keeps it and runs it for the 1st down.
Boy, that's a shot to the chest right there. He's looking to get the football back, and defense is back on the field again.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers now. We're under 2 minutes left in the third. Phoenix sends a man in motion. Ball fake. He's in the pocket. Now steps up. He's got a lane there. Slides up near midfield. That's a first down run for Phoenix and the Tigers of Benedict to the 49-yard line. They'll actually put him down at the 47-yard line.
Went in sliding, so it's where he starts his slide as opposed to where he finishes it.
The Tigers playing a little keep away now with this football. Trying to protect that 4-point lead. This is Bloodshaw in motion for them. They go on the ground. Jennings looking for some space on the inside. Bears close that up nicely. Correction, that's McLeod on the carry for Benedict.
It looks like for the second consecutive week, Miles is going to go into the fourth quarter trailing a winless team.
A bit of recent history that certainly don't want to keep repeating.
And there's no rain to kind of slow the motion on this one right now. You've got to kind of strap up and get a stop and get this offense rolling.
Whistles at the line of scrimmage. Play stoppage with 13 seconds left in the third quarter. Benedict going early there. They'll get hit with 5 on that assessment.
If somebody wasn't in sync, it looked like the quarterback started to pull out there a little early. Maybe a little false snap. Somebody forgot the snap count.
Likely our first final play of this third quarter. As the clock's running now with 10 seconds, may not even get that off.
Second down, 14.
Probably be A-okay with the Tigers if they don't. So we get set to go into the fourth and final quarter here at Homecoming 2019 for the Tigers of Benedict College. They lead it 14-10 over the Golden Bears and Miles as we take a break here. More Miles football after the timeout on WOTM.
Don't you just love rain? It's nature's way of watering the earth. Thunderstorms are a different story. Poppy really freaks out if the lights go off. That's why we love Alabama Power. As soon as it's safe, they work day and night to get the lights back on. Fast. Kind of like real-life superheroes. I know they do it for everybody, but sometimes I think they do it just for Poppy. Say thanks, Poppy.
You heard that right.
2nd and 14 here for the Tigers of Benedict to start the fourth quarter. So second and long situation. Golden Bears would like to keep it that way. Taking it into the third down. In motion. They keep it on the ground. Straight ahead with the run. That is McLeod. McLeod past midfield inside of Bear territory. So he more than made up some of that yardage. And that's going to make it a third down and about 4 now for the Tigers. Just a straight dive play.
Third down, 4.
They go with it again. Same result. Just a leg tie stops McLeod from breaking it even more to the 40, and that's a fresh set of downs for Benedict.
You know, Benedict has run out 3 or 4 different types of offensive sets through this game. As the game has progressed, they've kind of switched it up some. We haven't seen a lot of that over the first 3 quarters, so they're breaking out something new, and now Miles is going to have to adjust.
And adding the fact that you talked about in the third quarter, that this defense has been out there for a while, and they're starting to show some fatigue. I think the Tigers are starting to sense that. They're winning the battle in the trenches at this point. Ball fake. This time it's going to be Phoenix keeping the football. He's knocked down maybe up there a yard pickup.
And I think some of what Benedict is doing is shortening the game.
Yeah.
You know, you're out there, like you said, the defense is out there for Miles, and they're eating a lot of plays, and that turf is warm. Not warm, it's hot out there. And, you know, if you're Miles, you want to get a stop here. You got to get that defense a chance to sit down and then get your offense rolling. And I think that's been more of the issue at this point than the defense. The defense basically has dropped the ball twice. But otherwise has been very solid throughout this ball game.
2nd down and 9 from the 38. Phoenix steps up in the pocket, fires it up the field, one-on-one coverage, pass is incomplete. Was trying to get it downfield there to Washington, but overshot on the pass from Phoenix.
Yeah, Washington, when you get that one-on-one kind of play there, you're in front of the officials much as the defensive player is. Washington shoved. It looks like Jarius Grayson right there. I don't know that even if that was a catchable ball or that the ball was caught, that he would have been able to get away with that. That was a clear push, but no harm, no foul at this point. 3rd down, Miles needs a stop here.
13 minutes, 19 seconds left in the football game.
Elsie here on the near side.
Looking that way, fires out in the flat. That one's going to go incomplete. He was trying to get it over there to him. He was in space, had some space at the corner, but underthrown by Phoenix, so that'll bring up 4th down.
Miles made a change there. Jarius shade in at the corner. Jarius bumped him. He rode him, and they had help over the top there with Grayson, so there wasn't a lot of room, and this quarterback duo has not necessarily been the most precise.
Yeah, hadn't shown a lot of strong arms.
So that made it a lot more difficult throw. Now, I don't imagine they'll try to run another fake, but could be. We'll see.
Eubanks. He'll take the snap and kick this one away, turning it over the head of Anthony Robinson and into the end zone. So now it becomes all offense for the Golden Bears. They've just got to find a formula. Something's got to work.
They got to find a trigger man, somebody who's going to be able to make a couple of plays. Right now, the quarterback play is clearly holding back Miles. We hardly called Leonard Tyree's name. We have not called Antonio Lee's name at all.
Jay Fitch.
He's got the lone touchdown pass for the Golden Bears today.
It'll be Daniel Smith coming back out there. Wade Streeter joins him in the backfield. Antonio Lee and Anthony Robinson slot at the bottom of the screen. Snap to Smith. He'll keep it. Now fires to Anthony Robinson at the 23-yard line. Kind of a clamp down, downside blocking there by the Golden Bears up front to give Smith a little bit of space on the outside, free for Lane to throw.
I think they also were looking to try to get Anthony Robinson in space and try to get him in a one-on-one position to make a guy miss and race to the end zone.
Pick up a 3 on that reception, or 4, make it 2nd and 6 now. Smith on the ground. Streeter elects to turn it back to the inside. Got it to the 25. Not much there.
You want to give credit to the Benedict defense. They have started to really clamp down on the run game here in the second half. Like I said, Streeter had 60 yards at halftime, and he hasn't hit 70 yet. So, you know, they've taken away that portion of the ball game. Miles really needs a 1st down here.
3rd down, 5. Smith surveys, fires across the middle. They'll get it with the catch by Anthony Robinson near the 34-yard line. So complete feet, 1st down, and a flag coming at the back of that play. See if it goes against the Tigers of Benedict after the catch and tackle.
I think that's what's going to happen. That was a late and unnecessary hit, kind of a pile-on play there by Benedict. They're going to get 15 yards assessed going towards the end zone for the Golden Bears.
Put that football near the midfield mark after the assessment against Benedict. Well, you take it as you can get it.
You never know what's going to ultimately spark this team and this offense, and maybe that kind of play, Benedict getting a little cocky, getting a little loose. You know, you made the tackle, it was already going to be a 1st down, and then you come and kind of pile in a little bit. Right in front of the official, it was an easy flag.
So 1st and 10 for the Golden Bears after the catch and the assessment. Football at the 49-yard line. We're at 11:34 remaining. And Smith in shotgun. Ball fake by Smith. He'll drop. Looking upfield, trying to get it down the field. Got Tyree behind the defense. He should see a flag there. He actually grabbed him on the shoulder.
Unbelievable. They did not call a flag at all.
Tyree with some separation downfield. And it's clear the defender actually grabbed his shoulder. Hayward on the coverage. Got away with one there.
Unbelievable that you could sit there and see it. It was one-on-one coverage right in front of the official. It impeded his route to the football.
2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Darius Martin in there at running back now. To the left of Smith. Smith, short drop, backside pressure. He fields it, now rolls, fires, shoots it out of bounds and incomplete. He was going to his weak side, and he knew the pressure was behind him. So now here comes a big 3rd down for this Golden Bear offense.
Yeah, I don't know that you're quite to 4 down territory here where you're going to go for it on 4th.
Yeah, you can almost rely on field position with a punt if you don't get it here. I think you're right. But take it all off the table with a completion for a 1st. Smith surveys. Got some time. Now the pocket collapses. He'll break free. Got a man way downfield. Easy catch. Going to be an easy streak for a touchdown. Oh, they got him on the, clipped him down at the 4-yard line. The catch was made downfield. Is that? It's like a Red Close down there, or either Cohen Hudson with that catch for the Golden Bears. I think it was Cohen Hudson behind that defense.
That should have been a touchdown.
Had to wait on it, but still should have scored there.
But I don't think the waiting is what caused that. He was clearly free. He didn't think anybody was going to chase him down.
So kind of gave up on the run there. So 1st and goal to go now inside the red zone, and a timeout taken by the Tigers of Benedict College after the Golden Bears got behind the defense and he got the big catch downfield.
Daniel Smith had his man
and just stopped at the end of that play, not able to complete it, but it will be inside the red zone after the timeout. I believe that was Cohen Hudson on the reception for the Golden Bears. And Hudson, just after the catch, like you said, just thought he was going to walk into the end zone.
Right, he never hit the Jets. And, I mean, the way the tackler came from, he didn't necessarily see it. You make that catch and you look behind you to see if someone's chasing you down, but it looked like the angle that the DB took to pull him was not in an area that Hudson looked.
So it's 1st and goal to go for the Bears now at the 5-yard line. Chance to reclaim the lead with 10:46 left in the football game.
Got to protect this football more than anything else. You want to protect it.
Put Darius Martin in at running back. Got Lee down at the bottom of your screen. He's going to be in a one-on-one. And Tench is going to line out.
He's got one-on-one coverage too. Look for the curl. Right into the flats.
Now Tench in motion right side. Snap to Smith on the ground. Martin's got some room at the corner. Padarius put the head down near the 2-yard line. Good effort by Martin right side. So 2nd and goal to go now from the 2.
I wonder if you're going to see any part of Dante Edwards. Normally this is where Edwards shines. He gets in 1 or 2 yards out and he barrels it in, but he's had some ball security issues.
Have not seen him come from that bench yet. It's still Martin back in there at the tailback spot. So 2nd and goal to go from the 2. Smith is trying to get everybody on the same page up front. It's like they want to go pretty quickly here. The play clock already at 7. Now Smith on the ground, long handoff. Martin, he's got the space. Easy touchdown there for Darius Martin, left side. So they ran it off tackle and got some space at the corner.
Who needs power ball when you got a fast guy and can hit the corner he actually had a man right in front of him, and he just said goodbye as he raced the last 2 yards to the end zone. Miles back in front.
9:59 left in the fourth quarter. And Spradlin on now to try the point after. He is perfect on the season with point after attempts. And he remains that way, knocks it through with 9:59 left in the ball game, and Miles now with a 17-14 lead over the Tigers of Benedict. Let's take a time out here. Miles College football on WOTM Sports.
From a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise. I rise. I rise.
Golden Bears notch a touchdown there. Pandarius Martin, 2-yard run left side to score. They claim a 17-14 lead, but a lot of football still in front of us here at homecoming for the Tigers of Benedict College, live from Charlie Johnson Stadium. Hamill to kick it. I assume this is going to be a deep kick here by Brady. No, they're going to pooch it again. Working toward the sideline, and this one goes out of bounds.
You know, Coach Ruffin has done this a lot over the last couple of years especially, but even without Nick Christensen here kicking him out of the back of the end zone, he likes the surety of the field position. You know, when Nick was kicking him out of the back of the end zone, you knew it was 1st and 10 from the 25. Here, you know, they may have 60 yards to go, but you know what you got. You're not risking a big run back, a return for touchdown, or even much shorter field. You know, you got to defend, you know, the next 60 yards, and that keeps your defense from possibly not being out there that long.
And making the statement that you haven't seen anything from Benedict that fears you that much that you can't give up this kind of position for them to start on their drive. It'll go from the 45 here. It's been a couple of big plays for the Tigers that enabled them to have that lead for a while. It's been reclaimed by the Golden Bears after the run by Martin. Now the defense really just being asked to step up here, force them into a 3 and out, ideally here, and then you can flip this field. Phoenix brings Washington in motion. They go up the middle and nothing there. Golden Bears with a heavy surge up front. That play is going to lose about 3 yards.
Greg Matthews there with the stop there, and you know, he's been deployed kind of especially late in ball games, but when you need a stop, big number 5-0 has been there all season long, and he gets another stop there, and now Benedict has got to play from behind the sticks.
Push back to their own 42 now. Miles' defense a little bit more animated here on this possession. Washington in motion again. Ball fake by Phoenix. Fires, threw it right up top, and catch is going to be made, but wrapped up immediately is Jennings. And another good surge. They may lose another yard on that play.
Boy, Nick Floyd stayed at home as they try. You see a lot of moving parts when they run that, and it can confuse you. But if you play alignment and assignment defense like Miles likes to preach, Nick Floyd stayed right with his guy. As soon as the ball was completed, he made the tackle, and it's another negative play there for Benedict, and it's going to bring up 3rd and long.
This is exactly what the defense wanted to order up on this possession. Both plays have been repelled and losing yards for the Tigers. So Phoenix now with 8:40 left in shotgun. He'll take the snap, pressure up front, now dumps it underneath. Catch made, but a walloping hit there on Washington as he comes over to the catch. But who made the hit?
Nick Floyd stayed right at home. Everyone stayed at home. Smiley didn't follow him over. He sent him right over to Floyd as soon as he made the catch. The boom was laid down. That was quite the defensive series for the Golden Bears, and especially for Nictavious Floyd.
Hunt on the punt it away now. Eubanks, that is, set the punt it away now for the Tigers. Anthony Robinson's been active all game long. Set for the return. High kick there by Eubanks. It's a good job by him to get it airborne. They'll take their chances with a roll, and they got a favorable one there as it trickles back near the 16-yard line. So now back on the offense 7:49 remains. You want to take the air out of this football if you can and keep moving it down the field with some complete feet first down and let that end up with a touchdown.
These are championship drives right here. These are the kind of drives where you go and try to put the nail in the coffin. A touchdown here, especially if you take off 4 or 5 minutes, you really put Benedict in a tough spot. We have not seen them be able to throw the football and get down the field. You want to put this ball in the end zone.
Daniel Smith at quarterback. He'll set it up with slots either side as the initial set. Edwards in there at running back now. You get the sense they're going to try to ground it out. They've got to make sure Edwards hangs onto that football. Turns the right corner. Fell ahead for maybe 3.
For Edwards, this is a big drive too. They want to be able to go to kind of ground and pound, especially when you need to churn some clock. And he's the biggest, strongest guy they've got carrying the football in the backfield. But if you can't hold on to the football, they're not going to deploy you, and then you've got to try to find another role on the team. This is his role. This is perfect time for him to show his abilities and do big things for the Golden Bears.
2nd down and 6. He picked up 4 on the previous play. We're down to 7:12 clock watching here at Charlie Johnson Stadium. On the ground again, Edwards right side again, puts his head down, causes the contact there. Fell ahead to about the 23-yard line, so it's going to be 3rd and very manageable, about 3rd and 4 here for the Golden Bears.
Need this first down right here, and the fresh set of downs gets you another 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes off the clock.
Good point. It is 3rd and 4. Need to get it to the 26 for the first down. Play clock working its way to 5. Well, Smith with the snap, short drop, pumps once pressured, it got it on there, and he threw it short. They were trying to do a throwback to McNeely, but that pressure just so heavy by the Tigers up front, there's not enough time for that to develop.
The fact that he was able to get that ball off without even taking a sack is a pretty good play, considering all that was happening right there. Pressure was coming in his face, started to come from the backside. By the time he was able to kind of turn and try to get it over to McNeely, if he didn't let it go right then, it would have been a sack and could have been worse.
Sure. A lot of bad things could have happened there. So Fitch now on to punt it away for the Golden Bears. Facing a 4th and 4. With some movement up front, no flags. Good punt there by Fitch. A line drive from McGreer will have a return at the 33. They're trying to set a wall for him. Almost lost that football. Golden Bears almost stripped it away. McGreer got it at the 40 though. So you'll take that. Lost a couple of minutes off the clock, and you really push that position for the Tigers back on their side of the field for them to start this drive. So you're kind of back where you were with 2 more minutes off of the clock.
Right, this is exactly where it is. But again, by not scoring, what you do is you make this a one-play game. All it takes right now is one play from Benedict, and you're back behind and having a fight to take the lead again.
6:09 left here. We're at the Charlie Johnson Stadium on the campus of Benedict College. They're celebrating homecoming in search of their first win of the season. Golden Bears and Miles College trying to stay undefeated in SIAC play. Take a mark to 5-1. Ball fake on the inside, and there's that one big play you were talking about. There's Jennings left side streaking, and he'll finally be brought down by Jerry Rashade, but inside the red zone. They got soft on the corner, and Jennings able to avoid one tackle at the corner and broke it.
And again, when you're leaving opportunities for teams to do this, I think that's the biggest and the longest run that Miles has given up this season. Now you got to hope that you can kind of keep them from getting into the end zone now too.
5:39 left in regulation. 3 does them no good, so they have to hit the end zone or they'll tie it with a field goal. On the ground, they slide it back to the inside and not wrapping up. The extra effort by McLeod will put him down near the 10, perhaps inside the 10, at the 8 actually.
You know, that defense is starting to look a little worn. Watching them get up off the field after making plays. They've been out there a long time.
We're approaching 5 minutes left now. On the ground, straight ahead with the run, just like you indicated. McLeod slices right through that front line of the defense and takes it down to the 6-yard line. So they run that inside trap there. McLeod with a good tough run there. So it's 1st and goal to go now for Benedict. On the ground, left side, they wrap up Turner. But Turner's second effort, he works to pack down near the 3.
Looked like on the tackle they were trying to lift him and slam him, and ended up
falling forward,
and giving Benedict a couple extra yards.
That's exactly what it was. So it's 2nd and goal to go. We saw 2 significant goal line stands last weekend against Clark Atlanta, but that was then. Austin Stevens making his way back out onto the football field. His right arm is heavily wrapped for the Golden Bears. 2nd and goal to go here for Benedict. Ball fake, they direct snap and down at the goal line. Did they give him a touchdown? Yeah, touchdown for the Tigers. It was McLeod, right side, and he found the end zone. So they score. And only the good news is they scored early enough that the Golden Bears at least have some time to work with. Trailing it now 20-17 with the point after to come here by Benedict.
I wonder who's more surprised that we are in this position right now. Benedict, because they haven't been close for the most part all season long. Or Miles for, being in this position
with Benedict
for a 2nd week in a row.
Roberto with the kick, and he is good. So 3:57 remains. 21-17. The Tigers of Benedict trying to pull off a win on their homecoming. And the Golden Bears got to get off the deck here and find an answer here with 3:57 left. Take a time out here on WOTM.
So Darren, you're with the UPS store?
Yeah, we actually printed these invites.
Wow, I thought you guys just did shipping.
No, we do printing, packing, shredding, notarizing, mailboxing, faxing, binding, taping, laminating, copying, consulting, creating, designing, returning, and of course shipping.
Cool.
Nice costume.
It's my work uniform. Where are you going?
Go to the UPS store for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping.
3:57 left here. Benedict with a touchdown run by Jalen McLeod, right side. And they claim a 21-17 lead now over the Golden Bears. It'll be Martin and Robinson deep. We'll see if the Tigers even kick it that deep.
I think that was the first rushing touchdown that Miles has given up this year.
Good question. Let's see.
No, it can't be. They gave up the 2 against Missouri S&T. I know that much.
Yeah.
Quarterback ran for 2.
It was 3 coming into today's ball game. Yeah.
That doesn't happen very often. So
Rigoberto to kick it. And the line drive kicked by Rigoberto. Martin fills over the shoulder at the 12, circles back, looking for a block, slides to his left, got some space if he can turn the corner. He does. Martin at the 40, slides out of bounds near the 41. Nifty run there by Pedarius Martin on the return. That's what they needed, some good field position to start. They'll go from the 41.
Now you got to protect the football, pick up some first downs, but more important than anything else, you got to find a way to complete this drive with a touchdown. And you think about that drive right before halftime, where you're on the precipice of putting some points on the board and you threw the interception at the 1-yard line. Will that drive come up to show itself in the latter portions of this ball game?
Good question. We'll certainly have to reflect back on that. So the cast of characters for the Golden Bears out there now. Leonard Tyree in a slot at the bottom of the screen. Streeter at running back, whistles and a flag at the line of scrimmage.
Another delay of game
here
coming out of the timeout.
My oh my. That's just so treacherous. Just cannot do that. So back to the 35 now. Smith. Ball fake. Pressure backside. He feels it. Slides to his left. At the sideline. Got out of bounds. May have gotten it back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll depend on where they put him out of bounds. Golden Bears trying to get it all at once here, pushing the football so far downfield with the receivers. Maybe an opportunity to here to try to grab a little bit piece by piece with these tight ends as we go to 3:30 left in this football game.
Well, they've moved Tyree back to the outside. They have been playing him from the slot for the most part all game long, but now he's one-on-one on the outside. Benedict does have some All-American defensive backs that you have to respect, and I think Miles tried to work away from that.
Brown is one of them. He's covering. Out in the flats, pass thrown high, and McNeely can't pull it in. So that'll make it a quick third down here for the Golden Bears with 3:07 remaining.
You have all 3 timeouts, so that would be, if it gets to that, that'll be on your side. But, you know, the question is, can you get a stop?
The question at this point is, if you don't get it on this third, do you go on fourth?
Now, I think, you know, with the timeouts, you've got to punt it. It's too short of a field. I imagine that they would have to punt the football and try to get it back.
Third down and 17. Can they find the magic play here? Smith in the pocket, fires across the middle in traffic. What a catch there at midfield. Grab made there by McNeely, and McNeely right at the sticks for the complete feet first down.
What a play.
Boy.
Smith stood in on the rush. McNeely went right to the sticks, and he pulled it in for a 17-yard completion, and Miles gets a fresh set of downs. But now we're looking at the clock.
Boy, that could loom big here with 2:45 left now. Smith with a bullet on the last play. They're going to go on the ground. This is Streeter. Slides back to the inside. Streeter got it inside the 45 down to the 44.
Now the clock is working against Miles. They're going to have to go in right here if they want to win the ball game.
2:27 left. Second down and 3. Trips top of the screen for Smith. Looks that way. Pressure. They're going to get a sack on him. They were trying to let something develop far downfield to Anthony Robinson down in the end zone.
You know, sometimes you wonder if they could, you know, you want to draw some things up that are more intermediate.
Absolutely.
You've got time. Absolutely. They're not taking the time out here either, so they're going to try to move it and hold on to it.
And you lose the yardage on that play as well.
Still in front of the sticks, though.
3rd and 7 with a minute 38 clock running. Snap to Smith. He'll slide it left side. He's got some room there for your run. Now raises, fires back to the inside. Up top, not Tyree there with a catch at the 30. Leonard Tyree went up with all he had to get that football at the 30-yard line.
He took a shot, too. Boy, these guys are laying out, but this is not the guy that you want to have to come out for at least a play.
He was airborne at the 30, exposed his rib and stomach area fully to the defenders, but able to hang on to the football. Hope it's just the wind knocked out of him. But that's a first down play there on the catch by Tyree.
Perfectly timed play there by Tyree, too. Tyree stayed in to block just in case Daniel Smith was going to take off running. As soon as his guy left to go try to tackle Daniel Smith, Tyree took off into the route, and Smith found him. That's that work that they do together. It paid off right there. Hopefully it's only one play that Tyree has to come out.
Does he have to come out if there was a timeout taken?
Well, I don't think they took a timeout, and that's the deal. They're running the clock.
And I think the Golden Bears look like they may not even be aware of that. I want to just go ahead and burn a timeout here. I don't think they're aware of that. They're coming out, and we're at 1:05, the clock running. First And 10 from the 31. Smith looking upfield, fires across the middle, got a man streaking. That's Hudson there. Hudson with another grab, this time inside the 5, down at the 2.
Boy, Cohen Hudson and keeping his feet is just not working today, but he's making some big plays. Cohen Hudson gets behind the defense, and now it's 1st and goal. Miles might as well just let it. Benedict may start calling timeouts here, trying to preserve some time.
47 seconds and clock running here. 1st and goal to go here for the Golden Bears, trying to come out of here with a win. And now a flag coming in.
I think somebody's got a legal substitution going on here. Maybe too many people on the field.
Looks like that's going to be the case. Looks like it'll be against. They're counting them up now for Benedict.
Looks like they're going to give a timeout, though, to Benedict. Benedict called a timeout.
Well, so they got the timeout taken with 37 seconds left. And you talk about some gut checks on this possession here. The pass to Tyree going up like that to secure that 1st down. And then Hudson there inside, catching it. You're right, stumbled a bit after the grab, but got it inside the 5.
And don't forget the first catch, 3rd and 17. Dominique McNeely got to the sticks and made the catch, and that kept this drive going. Boy, we haven't had to deal with the cardiac Bears, but they're back. We saw it several times, pretty much all last season.
Year, right?
and
got the gray hair to show it. Right?
That may be helpful for Miles here on this possession because they haven't looked pressed at all. They're just going in there making plays.
37 seconds left. As you indicated, they got the full complement of timeouts here. But you want to go ahead and stick this in, regardless of how much time you leave them. They set in shotgun. Streeter lines up at the 11 as Tinch works the right side. Now they're trying to get Tyree one-on-one down there. They go to Streeter, right side. Streeter bangs left side or to the right, outside of the defense. Got it down to the, well, no gain on that play. They're starting this play so deep in the backfield. There's a lot of running, but nothing going forward.
It'll be interesting. Is Dante Edwards going to make an appearance?
We asked that on the last touchdown. It was Pedarius Martin left side with the run. But you would think that Edwards would be a prime candidate here. You could tighten up that field. You don't have to go that deep into that shotgun set to give it so deep in the backfield. You could have him line up just a couple yards behind it with the handoff and forging ahead.
And you got those 2 big tight ends in Fagan and Tinch. You've got Harvey, the fullback, who has shown a great ability to handle blocks here. And then you got the power back in Edwards. It'll be interesting to see if Miles will go to him.
Just 26 seconds left. A late touchdown by the Tigers of Benedict kind of forced this 2-minute drill for the Golden Bears. And they are down to the 1-yard line is where they mark it, the 1.5. 2nd and goal to go from the 1.5. Martin back in at tailback. They went left side on his touchdown run on their last score. Smith settling in here now. 2nd and goal to go. Tinch slides the line. They go back to Martin. Martin tries to turn the corner. Got there. Touchdown, Golden Bears. Got to that pylon, and the Golden Bears score with 19 seconds left.
Welcome to the party, Pedarius Martin. This guy was buried on the depth chart, and today he has scored the 2 first and biggest touchdowns of his career. Miles leads 23-21 with 19 seconds remaining.
As ugly as this football game has been for the Golden Bears, when they needed it, they really stepped up in this last possession.
Boy, the Benedict fans have no faith. They are hitting the exits right now.
23-21. Jackson Spradlin on now for the point after. And Spradlin, true to the game, knocks it through. So 24-21 now, 19 seconds left here in regulation. Take a final time out here on WOTM Sports.
From a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
"19 seconds remains here at Charlie Johnson Stadium. Golden Bears have come up off the deck here. They lead it 24-21. Martin with his second touchdown run of the football game. This time he went right side for the 1.5-yard touchdown plunge.
Well, I don't think Benedict thinks that Brady Hamill's going to kick it deep. They don't have anybody further back than about, the 13-yard line at this point.
And we saw that last weekend when Clark Atlanta did that, and that's when he went over their heads.
Right.
We'll see if they do that same thing here. You're right. Nobody even behind the 10. And he does kick it beyond the defense. Backpedaling for a return is going to be Freeman. He slips at the 2. Now it's trying to get ahead of steam, but he's corralled there by 3 or 4 Golden Bears at the 12-yard line. That's exactly what they wanted. That gives more time running off that clock. Down to 11 now. So everything in front of you. You know they're going to be going upfield.
I haven't seen their quarterback show an ability to throw it downfield. They've thrown it downfield maybe once, maybe twice. It was on the touchdown in the first half, and they made another try downfield, a couple of tries downfield, but those were woeful attempts. There's 11 seconds left. We'll see if Miles has a couple of stops in front of him.
Just got to keep it in front of him. That's exactly what you're talking about. A couple of stops. A little bit of pressure up front to keep the freshman quarterback on his heels. Line of scrimmage to 12. Golden Bears going to spread 4 across the front. Phoenix looks, fires, got a man behind the defense, but underthrown near the 35-yard line. To your point, AA, haven't seen anybody being able to really put some zing on some passes deep downfield.
Well,
showed itself right there with Phoenix.
That ball wasn't a 25-yard toss at all, and he couldn't get it there. Miles, if you're Miles, maybe you want to put somebody back a little further. Do not let them beat you deep. They can catch anything 40 yards in front of you.
Sure. With just 5 seconds left, you want to keep it there. They have a defender back and they got 3 back. They're pulling back now to the 45-yard line. And here's Phoenix with the final play of the ball game. Likely he'll hoist it downfield in triple coverage there. Pass batted around and incomplete. That's the ball game here from Charlie Johnson Stadium. Golden Bears, boy, they make it hard on us up here. They take their last possession of the football game and they drive it in for a score to win it. 24-21 over the Tigers of Benedict College. Take a time out here and back with the wrap-up from Columbus, or Columbia, South Carolina.
Don't you just love rain? It's nature's way of watering the earth. Thunderstorms are a different story. Poppy really freaks out if the lights go off. That's why we love Alabama Power. As soon as it's safe, they work day and night to get the lights back on. Fast. Kind of like real-life superheroes. I know they do it for everybody, but sometimes I think they do it just for Poppy. Say thanks, Poppy.
You heard that right.
Back live in Columbia, South Carolina. Final score here at homecoming for the Tigers of Benedict College. Golden Bears pushed the record to 5-1 after a 24-21 win over Benedict. So Benedict still in search of his first win of the season. And AA, it just took that monumental effort on that last possession for the Golden Bears to get the win.
We've been waiting for someone to step up and take like a leadership mantle in the quarterback position, and Daniel Smith made some throws and some plays, and his receiving corps stepped up big time. 3rd and 17, huge catch by McNeely. He took a lick. 3rd down, extended the play. He finds Leonard Tyree. He gets blasted. And then Cohen Hudson streaks right down the middle. Cohen Hudson is at least 6th or 7th on the depth chart. He made 2 huge catches here in the 4th quarter to set Miles up for scores and give Miles a huge 24-21 win.
That'll do it for our coverage here from Columbia, South Carolina. Special thanks to Miles College President Miss Bobby Knight, Athletics Director and Head Coach Reginald Ruffin, Miss Barbara Palmer, Assistant AD for Fiscal Affairs, Patrick Pizon, Assistant AD for Facilities and Operations, and A.A. Moore, of course, in his role as Assistant AD for External Affairs and in his role as game analyst.
Hey, the man.
Certainly want to thank our partners at WOTM and our production team of Randy Higgins and Jake Marshall with our camera work with a fine job here this afternoon from Benedict College. Back in Jacksonville next weekend, it's a 5 o'clock tip. The Tigers of Edward Waters will be hosting us. We'll have all the coverage for you right here on WOTM.